Hello, everyone.
Howdy.
It's William and Andrew here at Allegory Gallery. We're at home again. It's cold. Um, I spent a lot of time at the store today. I was there after hours working on getting some of these kits together for you all. So today we're going to take a look at, I call them one-of-a-kind kits. These are kits that usually include something that is either very limited in quantity in our store, like there's only one left. They might have artisan components, maybe from artisans who no longer make these things. They could be vintage things, but generally they'll have something in there that make them one of a kind, that we can't reproduce in any way. So hopefully you like these. The price points are all over, just so you know, but we're also giving you a special discount on them. So we're going to show you the retail price, and it's going to be slashed out, and you're going to see your sell price that's available. Now, we did some of these about 2 weeks ago. Sorry, I got hair in my eye. And I think we left off at number 11. So we're going to start on number 12 today, just to keep that kind of flow going for these. And then as I was looking around the store, I found some stuff. We have some fair trade stuff that's like vintage fair trade stuff that we have. And then I found some seed bead and glass mixes that are around. And I thought maybe you'd like to see those too. So we'll throw those in there as well. And those will come at the end after the kits. And who knows? Who knows what else we'll get up to, right? So thanks for joining us here. If you're here, please hit that like and share button. I'm checking over here. When I look over here that way, I'm looking at Instagram to see if anybody's with us over there. Patty Tharp. We have a few. MGem over there. KSSW4762. Thanks for joining us, everybody. And just a reminder, if you are watching us on Facebook, we are in a Facebook promotional thing that they're doing. We get a bonus for every time you share, comment, like any of our posts. They consider reach to be the biggest thing of all of that. So we get the most money from Facebook. We actually get real money. The most money from them for every new view we get on something. So the
How
more
much money did we make?
I don't know. They don't tally it right away. So far, we're at $10. Now, we have gotten these, and we've gotten up to like $80 before. Right now, we're at 10. Y'all have been going crazy, but I think it's lagging behind. That's what I think. Maybe not. I don't know. But I think y'all have been doing a lot more than $10 worth. So hopefully, at least as opposed to last time that we were in this. So we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it's free money. It gets dropped into our bank account, so it's so nice.
A little surprise.
A little surprise, a little extra. Okay, now I'm going to say hi to people. We have 17 people over here watching. I don't know how many people are over there watching. It doesn't tell me. Marianne's here. Hello, Marianne. Hello, Suzanne. Thank you for tuning in. Norma is here with us. Cheryl is here. Howdy, Cheryl. Danette has joined in. Susan is with us. Thank you for joining. Kathleen is here. Hello, Kathleen. Hello, Julie. Hello, Anne. Lots of people in here. Lots of familiar faces we see today. Thank you all so much for joining in. Oh, and our friend Anne Mergel is here too. It is cold. It is cold, everybody. Cindy Motes is here. Hello, Cindy. Thank you for joining us too. See, we know all your names, right? We know your names. If you're tuning in and we don't know your name yet, please say hi. Please say hi. We want to get to know you. That's what we do here on our lives. Sometimes maybe too much, but we do say hi a lot and we talk a lot. Teresa's here. Hello, Teresa. So there's been so much going on. So much and like nothing all at once. I don't know. This morning, hello, June. This morning, I woke up with a nightmare. I had this nightmare that Barb was at the cottage and she called me and she was filling up the pellet stove for us. And somehow I was looking, I guess it was like I was looking through the cameras there. And she was filling up the pellet stove or trying to. And she looked up, and of course the camera looked up. It was like I was so weird, but you know how dreams are. And the whole ceiling was scorched because the pellet stove caught on fire. And so that woke me out of bed, especially since I just dealt with my other job burning down, probably, which is why all this is happening. But so I ran up to the cottage because I couldn't go back to sleep. There was no way. So I ran up to the cottage, and the pellet stove, I was telling you all the other day how I had to repair the little motor that's in there. Well, apparently my job that I did was not great, because the motor stopped working and the pellet stove went out. That's all that happened. But yeah, it was a scary thing. But it's just so weird that it happened. It woke me out of bed just about probably the same time when the motor would have gone out. And so by the time I got dressed and got ready and went up to the cottage, and like sat in the bed and like, do I really need to do this? Is this really something that I'm like, because I have anxiety, and a lot of times I just have to say, no, anxiety, no, we're not going to listen to you. But today I did, and there it was. There was an actual thing that was happening. Hello, Barnaby. That's Barnaby, my buddy. It's been very cold for Barnaby. He's had some congestion since it's been so cold. He's starting to cough now, but nothing like before. This is like his normal congestion. Huh, buddy. This is his asthma that happens whenever he changes temperature. And he was, this room is warm, so he's in here with us, and he just came in from downstairs, which is much cooler. We keep it cooler in the house. Come on, buddy. That's a boy. Hello, Rosie. Thanks for joining in. Hello, Jane. We have Jane tuning in. Says it feels like -7 here and 18 inches of snow in Michigan.
No way.
No way. That's not as that's not as bad here. It's bad here, but we don't have 18 inches of snow. That's
Knock
crazy.
on wood now.
I know. I know, right?
I can't deal with it anymore. We ended up losing probably $300 worth of resin.
Yeah, there were things at the cottage that it got cold because the pellet stove went out, and that's not the first time it's gone out. We've had wind damage, like wind power outages that's knocked the power out. It's like we can't keep the cottage warm because every time we start the stove or start something, the power gets knocked out or the pellet stove has an issue. So it's been like a week that we have not been able to warm up the cottage. Between the motor breaking twice on us, and we turned up the pellet stove yesterday, but what I didn't do is kick up the airflow, and so it put down too many pellets and smoldered itself out. So that was the other day. So user error there, but still doesn't help. And our split systems are not able to keep it at temperature when it's this cold out.
I think if the walls were properly insulated, it would probably work.
If it was built like a modern house, it'd be perfect. Everything would be lovely.
But because it is an old building,
mm-hmm.
and there's no insulation in parts,
and single pane old windows, like you can look through the wavy gravy windows,
and some of them are missing. Some of the panes.
We have one window pane, and one that looks like it was shot with a bullet before we moved in.
There's two that are missing.
Two?
Anyways, so because of that, we were going to do that in 2023 and do the outside of the building, but because the store had been so slow, we're like, oh, we'll just put it off. And now, this is something that we dealt with last year.
Mm-hmm, but it was not as cold.
No, it was, you'd say more snowy last year, or?
I wouldn't say it's much more snowy. It might have been windier last year.
Because I remember we were on the roof at some point, like pulling branches off, pulling ice out of the gutters. It was still rainy and icy. I don't think it was much more snowy. The year before, we actually had to plow. Last year, we didn't have to plow there. But
Yeah, it's been a week of it right now, but we're doing as much as we can. Barb was there today. Yesterday, Barb went in. She's like, "I'm sorry, it's too cold. I gotta go." And we're like, "Yes, we didn't even expect you to come in." But today she spent some time there because it had warmed up, and I retaped up the windows. We put plastic over the windows, and I retaped everything, and the pellet stove was going again, and as of early this morning. So that got things warmer. It also warmed up to like almost 30 degrees today. So if it gets out of the teens, the pellet stove and the air, our split system can handle it, and it keeps it pretty warm. But if it stays in the teens, it can't do it. Can't do it. We didn't know this until this year.
The teens or lower.
Well, yes.
Because it was lower, yes.
Yeah, it was in the tens, in the single digits yesterday.
The sevens.
In the sevens, right? Anne says, "Please do not send it our way, Jane." No, please do not send all that our way. Everyone's saying hi, Barnaby. Hi, Barnaby. Suzanne says it was 60s out today, but another hard freeze this weekend, then rain.
60s.
60s, nice.
Wait, which Susan?
Suzanne.
Oh, Suzanne.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're gonna get to 60s.
No, we're
hopeful for a second.
We're getting up into the 40s next week, like mid next week. We'll be at like 43, I think it said, maybe close to 47. We'll see if that actually happens. Susan says it was
time for the ice sculptures to melt.
Susan says it was a balmy 40 degrees here. Susan Surreal.
Usually, Susan gets our weather the day or two before us. So that's why I'm usually curious, because
see if it's coming.
The way that the weather works, we usually get it. If she gets bad weather, then we tend to get that same weather the next day or something.
Anne says the mayor did a post email, I'm guessing because there were a lot of complaints about the road. She said we got 20 inches of snow over 4 days.
That's crazy.
We've gotten a lot of rain, but it hasn't turned into snow, which I don't know if that's better or not, because it has made the roads icy a lot of times. But we didn't get much snow.
One day we couldn't get in the cottage. It was the ice had dammed up so much.
They plowed it and then it dammed up. I couldn't actually get in there. And if I got in there, I didn't know if I was getting out, because the van is not made for all terrain. It is like made for nice, clear roads.
In
Florida. So lately, though, I have been able to get in. The ice has crunched down, and it's made like this solid platform. There's still like this bump to try to get in, so I gotta like hit it a little bit.
Oh no!
But I can get in, and then I can actually get in. I don't go in too far, because then I get in trouble. And I get in and I back up and I turn around and I point myself out before I get out of the car, so that if I'm sitting in there for a while, it doesn't get stuck in one position that's not facing out.
The other thing that we were going to do in 2023 that we didn't get to do is put down gravel.
Yep.
And so there's one area where there used to be plenty of gravel, but however they plowed it or whatever, there's like a barren spot that gets mushy.
Yeah, I think the gravel went up high, and we always come in low, and we're always missing like the main. Plus, gravel over the years, it does just kind of get eaten by the ground. Like my home growing up, our lane used to get graveled like every 2-3 years, and by the end, like by that second or third year, you were like, it was like a mud pit. Like you would like, where did all this gravel go? So yeah, gravel somehow just keeps getting absorbed into the ground. But yeah, so we have a little bit of gravel. Well, there is a spot with gravel, but you gotta find that spot, and it's not easy. And most of the time we don't make it right. And so you go in there and it just spins and spins.
One time
and
we
spins.
got stuck. That was a nightmare.
And you're like rocking it. Reverse, drive, reverse.
Well, one time it didn't get out at all. I went back inside the cottage and hung out. And luckily you came in Appa, and then when it dried out,
it was able to dry out a little bit.
Luckily we had 2 cars, because otherwise I would have been wild and lived in the woods.
Right now I'm carrying pellets, a few bags of pellets in the back of the van for weight, and also in case it gets stuck. I figure maybe the pellets will help it get out. It's like sand, like you pour it in, and hopefully if I get stuck it'll help. Don't want to waste the pellets, but also don't want to get stuck at the cottage. Let's see here.
Like kitty litter?
Like kitty litter, sand. Snow here, finally up to 30, says Norma. Heading back to the deep freeze for Saturday. Anne says, luck has not been on your side. You know, in some ways it has, in some ways it has not.
I mean, this, we know that this is a problem.
Yes. But we also have not been able to remedy it yet.
Because we've been broke. So
yeah.
if that's bad luck.
Yeah, which one of those is bad luck?
So we could say that he had good luck, that he woke up in the middle of the night and went over
early morning.
The pellets.
That was good luck, that I guess. Or it was bad luck that it happened, but good luck that I was able to fix. Because if Barb would have come in and tried to turn it on, that could have been...
Could have broke even more.
It could have broken even more.
Like broke.
Yeah. So, hey, Gertie, I have a plate of food. I gobbled down a plate of food, so I wasn't like hangry during this live. So yeah. Julie says, have space heater will travel. We have lots of heaters in the cottage that are mostly, we have the portable oil heaters. The tall ones look like our radiator, but it doesn't work if the power goes out. And we don't usually leave those on unattended.
Because those, for real, cause the building to go on fire. So I don't want to...
Well, they get hot. I mean, they'd probably be fine, but we don't leave any heat source on that's not like the pellet stove is on a brick pad on top of a cement pad surrounded by nothing. And so if anything were to happen, knocking on wood, it should be contained in its little area. We don't turn on the floor heat, like the space heater or the what do you call those?
Baseboard.
The baseboard heaters, unless we're there. We usually don't use those anyway because they're expensive.
We got the first year, we're like, oh, because we put baseboard heaters in when so when we redid the electrical at the cottage, we put baseboard heaters in to replace the ones that had kind of
been old and
were dangerous.
Hardwired into the electrical box.
And so that was super dangerous. But anyway, so we were like, oh, well, we'll just use this. And this is before we had the mini split system. And was it before we had the pellet stove?
I don't remember. We must have had, I would think we would have had the pellet stove, because I think we had that the very first winter.
I don't know if we had that or not. But anyways, I remember we put it on at one point, and then we got the electrical bill the next month, and it was crazy. I think it was like a $600 electric bill. It
was insane. And we only kept them on when we were there, and it was still crazy.
I may have left the one on.
He's like, I may have left. We also didn't have much in there at that point.
I got thunderstruck with how expensive. Yeah. I was like, this is more than 2 months of the mortgage.
You're like, why are these so expensive and a portable heater is not? Like, how does it use so much more electricity? But yes, so we do have them, but we don't like to have them on if we're not there. We try to be very careful about that stuff, especially since I'm anxious. Dennis says, it always gets warm during the ice festival. I can only remember one year when it was cold and stayed cold for the ice carvings. I think it's going to be cold this year.
I'm not going to.
Because I'm pretty sure all this weekend it's going to be Friday 26 is a high, 18 is a high, Sunday 24 is a high.
That's cold.
That's all colder than freezing.
Y'all that like to stand out in the cold
So
Enjoy.
it is going to be, and it's supposed to snow tomorrow, but be cloudy, just cloudy the next few days. And then we're going to get up to 51 next Wednesday.
Just in time for the sculptures to look like phalluses.
Right.
When they melt, they take on a very
Phallic look.
but more narrow and wide at the base.
Got up to 15 today, says Cheryl. Our hallway walls began to crack. I set up the humidifier and have a patching project this spring. Old homes are fun.
No, they're not.
Andrew's like, no. You don't even want to know what's happening in our attic, I'm sure. Negative 16 Celsius here now, says Marianne. Not really that bad with no wind.
I can see why those people on those house shows are like, I want new construction only.
Yeah. Marianne says Ligonier is supposed to have a winter storm starting tomorrow. Yeah, the snow is coming, supposedly. I don't know how much, though. It's saying winter storm warning. What is it saying? From 1 a.m. tonight until 10 a.m. on Saturday. So over the day, Friday, 6 to 12 inches. 6 to 12 inches here.
We have to put the signs in the window, the moving signs.
I know I got to make them yet. I got to print them here. But I got to run to the cottage tonight and check on everything and take some stuff up for Barb. She's going to try and come in tomorrow. Not if there's 6 to 12 inches of snow.
She lives nearby.
She does.
She can take a.
She can, but she said she was coming in the other day. She literally lives like 2 minutes away. And she's like trying to get there, but there's what'd she say, a traffic jam on my drive. And I'm like, your drive is like 2 minutes. It's like a mile at most. Vanessa, hello Vanessa, thanks for joining us. Anne says cat litter helps you get out. Yep. Danette says the portable radiator oil heaters are expensive to run and use a lot of electricity. We have not found that. We have one in this room. That's what heats this room, and usually our bathroom during the winter. And they don't seem to. Ours are pretty new. We just bought them within the last year or 3 years. But we don't find them to be that expensive. Especially, I mean, we use gas to heat, so I think compared to that, even though gas should be cheaper, gas is pretty expensive.
We use gas.
We
use gas.
That's what our house is.
That's not electric.
Natural gas. No, our baseboards are gas. He's like, lived here how long? No,
it's like, I guess that makes sense.
They're forced hot water, so it's a gas stove furnace that heats the hot water and pushes it through here. That's why I bleed them every once in a while.
He's looking at me like if it's a house on a show, then I'll know about it.
His own house.
I'm like, what? It's like that one construction project has forced air. 2 vents located in each room. One on the north side, one on the south side.
His own home.
Exposure.
Doesn't have a clue. Susan, our neighbor, is here. Hello, Susan.
Yeah, I don't know where.
Hello, Amanda.
It's been a hard. I don't know. I was gonna say it's been a hard winter. And
it's been a cold winter. It's been colder than it normally is. And that's what I mean, in addition to everything else we've gone through, it's just another, layer on the cake. But
I was like, I thought we turned the corner.
I think we have. Things aren't that bad. It's just these are minor annoyances that turn into more major annoyances because we feel bad because you're not getting things from us, is what this all comes down to.
As quickly as
possible. And so we know that the lucky kits have not gone out yet. People are waiting for those. I'm getting emails almost every day on that, and I'm trying to answer them as much as I can and let people know. When it's this cold, working out at the cottage is not possible. One, We have to take the computers away so they don't freeze, and or try to keep them in an area that is staying warm. And so we can't process things, we can't look things up. Being in there huddled in coats and long pajamas is not fun. And sometimes we haven't been able to even get in or have power. So we are working on things as quickly as I can, but I am literally getting emails almost every day. I wish everyone would watch our lives, because then you'd all know. Like you all, I'm talking, preaching to the choir here, because you all know that all this is going on already. But
I think we got a bunch of new people.
we've some people, the Lucky Kit was like their first order ever.
Oh, great.
And so they've been waiting for quite a while.
I mean, it's not been too bad.
No, it's just we thought we would get them when we came back from Florida, and that's what we put in the listing. And once we came back, what hit the fan in so many ways. So me trying to figure out what's going on with my other job and logistically go around that, trying to work on healthcare, trying to work on unemployment, trying to keep us going. Andrew with his father sick and then passing on New Year's, and the logistics of that and what needs to be done with the family and for his mom. And there's a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that we don't talk that much about.
And that it's not easy.
No, no. So some days,
if it was up to me and everything happened according to the way I say, then it'd be one thing.
Yeah. Or if it was just like the weather. But after we've spent a whole day researching stuff and figuring things out and working on stuff, and then to go out into the cold and into that we might get stuck somewhere where there might not be power the next day. Like, it's one of those things, like we could easily, if we both went to the cottage in the van, we could both easily get stuck at the cottage.
Mm-hmm.
And if the power went out, there's no bathroom other than the outhouse. And if the power went out because of a windstorm when we were stuck up there, which has happened numerous times. So it's all these things that, like, we don't try to make excuses where they're, it's not necessary. But for our own safety, we have not been going to the cottage as much. And yes, we have people we could call, but a lot of the people we know do not work the hours we do, or even are awake at the hours we are awake. And if we get stuck at the cottage in the middle of the night, and like I said, it's cold and we don't have a bathroom, and the cats are here by themselves, it's not a great thing. So we are doing the best we can. So everyone, please know that.
I think sometimes also the rumor mill is bad, because at one point somebody was like, "Whoa, well, you're asking your mom for all this money and she needs it to live," and that is like the complete opposite.
Yeah.
But somehow, like, I guess because we were talking about the New Day campaign,
because we said we had a fundraiser and that we were trying to raise money for that and for the move, and that I lost my job, and yeah, there's a lot going on that was public.
And it's all true.
Yes.
It's not true.
No.
But I guess my mom may have seen something, or one of my siblings saw it, and then they told her, and then for some reason she's convinced that like I'm trying to like swindle her for money, even though we're the ones who've been advocating that she doesn't use.
We have refused all money from her because she needs it. We've tried to show her ways to invest her money and give her options to invest it, that it can't be touched by anybody, even her, for a while. And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I can't give you anything. I have it." And I'm like, "We didn't want it.
We didn't ask for it.
We
specifically said not to.
We are doing our best to stand on our own as much as possible, with all of your help and with all of our supporters out there who like what we do, the way you have a small business."
And then like today I asked the question about classes. And so I don't want to really like talk about it too much, but I ended up getting a free workshop at 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 one of the craft schools. And so automatically people are just assuming that I'm spending all this money on classes when I work really hard to get scholarships and grants and do things to cut down the expense of furthering my education. And I think some people think that I'm just like lighting money on fire and like going on trips and gallivanting around and
Yeah.
having like the best time of my life.
I think there's a group of people or a section of people who think like, oh, they're saying they're raising money and they don't have any money and he lost his job and they're doing a fundraiser, but here's Andrew spending all the money on classes and going to all these places. Those are paid for by some grant or some like organization
or that was from way before.
Yeah. I mean, these are all things that like we are not, Andrew's not just like taking all the money. We literally need that.
Canceled the last couple
Andrew
trips.
canceled a bunch of things. So
it's just really frustrating when there are things that are not in our control, and people, instead of asking directly, they make up these crazy stories, and then they come back to us and we hear about them. And it's like, did we really need that on top of everything else?
Yeah.
Like, do we really need to be like kicked when we're down? Like, I don't really like to feel guilty about, something that's not even happening yet.
But also
over like the summer.
One of the very few things recently that is like super good that happened to you. Like why? Like are we not allowed to feel good and be happy about that?
Mm-hmm. Like the one I won a scholarship, and somebody was like, "Oh, you should not be focusing on having fun. You need to buckle down." And I was like, "Can I have one shred of happiness, or is it like, am I supposed to like lay down on the ground and like rent my clothes and like tear my eyes and whatever to show that like." I don't know. I think it's one of those things like people are like, well, you're not. So I got this one other. I probably should just go because I'm getting kind of in a bad mood.
I can tell.
But one person was like, well, you don't seem sad. I was like, how do you know?
Right.
How do you know how I feel? And they're like, well, your posts. And I was like, the things I say on the internet do not necessarily reflect everything that I'm feeling at every given moment of every given day.
And how are you reading those posts versus how I wrote those posts?
Also, nobody wants to be constantly buzzed down by me, like, I don't know. Anyways, so
wash it away. Wash it away.
I know.
Wash it away.
Where's the sage?
He needs to burn some sage. Hello, Michelle. Let's see who's here. Hello, Michelle. Thank you for joining us.
Fumigated at the house.
Marianne's like, think of it as icing on the cake, but really crappy icing. Sometimes.
I don't want that.
Julie says, you know what happens, right? Don't need that kind of. Danette's like, the old radiators that can be really ornate are very pretty and good. They are. The big ones.
Those get flipping hot though.
We used to have those in New York. And of course, in New York buildings, you don't control your own temperature other than opening a window or two if it gets too hot, which was usual in the winter in New York to open windows.
It'd be like snowing inside the building through the window.
Through the window, but you're like roasting out.
But the radiator was so hot. One year, the first year I moved to New York, I lived in Gramercy Park, which sounds fancy, but it was not at all. It was basically somebody's converted closet. And it was in an old hotel that they had turned into apartments. And I had these beautiful houseplants. I had got them at the farmer's market, and I didn't have much money, but I had these beautiful houseplants. And I had them on my radiator because that's where, the sun comes in. And then I guess according to like New York law or something, they have to turn the heat on even if it's not cold.
Yeah, there's a day, I think. There's an actual day when
it's like November 16th.
The heat has to start coming on.
And so I was away at class or work or something. And when I came home, like the morning, my plants were beautiful and lush and happy. And by the time I got home, they were crispy fried. I mean, it was turned into dust, basically.
Julie's saying, I'm so sorry, guys. Susan, our neighbor, says, I would come and get you. Thank you, Susan. Lorraine is here. Hello, Lorraine. Michelle says, there are a lot of grants and scholarships for small business and students. Yeah, people don't realize. Andrew applies to like all of them.
Yeah, I think
Julie says, don't listen to ugly people.
The thing is that it's not necessarily coming from a bad place. And that's the thing that's the hardest part. It's easy when somebody's like straight up villain style and they're like, oh, well, they're bad people. But a lot of this is people who they
genuinely care.
They care. And I get this a lot where people, they want to like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know if they trust me as like my abilities to do stuff. And this actually came up on a comment on somebody's post at some point where I was like, every aspect of my life has been questioned. And it's true. I mean, what I eat, I've had people say, oh, you shouldn't be a vegetarian. You're going to get sick. You're going to die from being vegetarian because you're not getting enough protein. I had people say, oh, well, you can't be that kind of vegetarian because it's instead of loving and celebrating vegetables, you are eating meat replacement products, and that is bad. And then what I wear, oh, you shouldn't wear that because it doesn't flatter your body type. Oh, you shouldn't do this because this is bad for this. Oh, you shouldn't. I get this every single day. And for the most part, I can kind of laugh it off and just shrug it off. But sometimes it's just so hard when you're trying to deal with everything else. And people act like the people who are supposed to be in your corner act like they don't trust you to wipe your own butt, basically.
He gets it a lot.
And I'm like, do y'all want to start like, I'll just lay here and y'all can like dress me and feed me and I'll act like a little baby and y'all can
take care of you like a cat.
That'd be nice. Where's that?
Danette says, William, I thought about you the other day when I was watching American Pickers. They were picking somewhere that had a roadster. I wonder if they got parts from the roadster factory. Possibly. They
were here.
They sold all over the world, the roadster factory. Julie says, I know it's not easy. Amy says, but wait, why are they all up in your business? Anne says, exactly, Amy.
If you find that answer, let me know.
Marianne says, of course you should be happy about the good things, besides the fact that it will benefit your business at some point.
I mean, that's the other thing. It's like, I don't do it's not like I'm getting like a grant to go on a cruise and like lay in the sun.
Yeah, and do absolutely nothing.
Which is fine if you do. But more power to you. I'm not going to tell you that you can't do what you want with your time and money.
And your grant money.
Let me also say that I have never, ever gone on any of these people's posts and told them what to do.
What you think they should be doing.
Unless somebody asks me directly, I have never spoken one word to them about how they should conduct themselves.
Yep.
But yes.
Suzanne says some people are just mean. Some are just mean. Those are the easy ones to get rid of.
Because then you just block delete.
Right. Cheryl says, think of all the jewelry they could be making if they weren't creating drama. Susan says, if you exhibited sadness, that same person would disapprove of that too. It's a no-win situation.
Well, I got that too. Oh, your posts are too depressing. I can't be friends with you. And I've had literally when everything was kind of like falling apart and William's job burned down like the day before, and my dad was like, had just died. Somebody said, I can no longer follow you because your posts are too depressing. I was like, this is not the airport. You don't have to announce your departure.
No.
However, though, it's nice to know because sometimes people pop up and the people you should know, and then I'm like, oh, that's my friend. And so I push add friend, and then I'm like, oh.
At least you know. So he says there are some people that always need to insert themselves into other people's business, even though it's none of theirs. It does happen. It happens a lot to Andrew.
And it's so weird because William, and this is crazy, William can say the exact same thing that I do. He is friends with the exact same people, and yet he does not get it at all. Maybe you got one time, but that just one time only. Me,
Hey,
I get it like every single day,
that.
and I'm like, what? How come? Is my face just shaped in a way that may? But it's also like at the store. Like at the store, we'll go into
different vibes.
Like, somebody's telling me all about their pap smear, and then they're like, oh wow.
How's the weather?
Okay, bye.
Kathleen says gossip drives me nuts. Don't pay attention to these people.
I have like 6 crimp tubes, and then I get, well, boy, that doctor's hands were real cold. I'm like,
she says they are probably just jealous you have a business and don't get it. Some people have their own businesses too that do this. Anyway, Joyce says I visited my daughter in New York City and the heat was so hot that they had the air conditioning on. It's true. It's true. Facebook user out there says a person can only take so much of that.
Do it before they have a mental breakdown on camera.
Or off camera. Demet says, wear what you want, eat what you want. You don't have to answer to anyone but you. Jermaine says, people love to tell people what they should and shouldn't do, and that's why I'm antisocial in my old age.
I'm getting there. I'm getting driven to the woods, y'all.
Marianne says, I get so annoyed at people who are always saying, you should. Yeah, Andrew says, he says that. Should is like a 4-letter word. Never say should to someone else unless they're asking for your advice.
I got cured real quick of that. I was like, do I do that? And now I try not to do that. And the thing is, when we opened the store, I had one customer come in, and it wasn't even a customer, some random person who came into the store gets so upset that I wasn't going to spend $15,000 to bring in a product that I had no idea about. They got so mad, and they wrote me almost every single day.
About you cannot sit on the battery backup, little girl.
It's probably warm.
It probably is. She's warming her little butt. It's also right where the pull cords are for that window. You did turn it off, didn't you? You little stinker. Don't worry, I'll get it after. Can't. There it goes.
How did you do that with your butt? Oh, well. Anyways, William worked really hard at the store and put together some kits.
Oh, yeah. Lena says, I love you both your faces. Thank you. We love you too. Middle fingers are a direct way to let someone know they're affecting you, says Amanda. Suzanne says, one time someone wanted me to hear their confession.
I get that all the time. Even when we didn't have a store, I worked in this cafe. This woman comes in the store, the blonde-headed woman, and her child is so cute. She's holding this baby. That baby had the reddest hair. I said, oh, your baby's so cute. And she goes, he looks just like he looks just like his father. And then the dad walks up. he do not look like the baby. And she winked at me. And I was like, oh.
Oh,
What do y'all want for breakfast? They
Yeah.
have true confessions up here. Lifestyle of the rich and famous.
Hello, Harry. Thanks for joining in. Let's see here. Cheryl says, wow, you now have double digits viewing on Facebook. We're up to 31 people watching. Double digits on your Facebook over there. That doesn't usually happen to us over there.
Maybe I need to
Altogether.
complain some more.
I know. Do we need to just have a complaint session every day? What is this?
I'll be like Brit that. Leave Brittany alone. But then he had to become a porn star to make money, so
Yeah.
nobody's gonna pay for middle-aged Andrew trying to shimmy and shake and do the jub dance so I can get a little bowl of rice.
That's my box for my kids.
Oh.
Cheryl says, attaboy, Andrew. Let's see. Susan says, I'm with you, Andrew. I'm ready to be a witch in the forest with her cats. No people unless I want them there.
Yeah, I think about I genuinely like people. That's the thing, though.
Yeah.
And it's like, I really like people. I am an introvert, but once I get going and I'm around people, I love people. It's so crazy. And
yet, they sense this and flock to you.
I know. I'm not the
tell
only
you
one
all
in the family, too. Like, we used to do shows, and the things people would say at the table, I was like,
what?
We at the bead show, y'all. We at the bead show.
There are people right around you.
We at the bead show. Somebody's got a phone out, I'm sure.
Look at all these lot papers I have. There's a lot of lots tonight. Because we're not only doing the kits, which I think I did 16 of. I think I made 16 kits. I also have some of these.
Ew, those are good.
And those are fair trade, handmade paper bead necklaces and bracelets, which they're at such a good price. If you wanted to take them apart and just use the beads, probably good.
I feel like that way about anything.
Yeah. If you need to take it apart, take it apart. And those were originally fair trade. They are now vintage.
So the company still.
The company is still. I checked it out, and the tags are on them, so you know this is a real fair trade company. When the tags are on them for things like that, we usually leave them on. And then we have these, which are going to be these bead blends. And there's like glass seed bead blends and some glass mixes and some odds and ends that I found at the store. And we're going to put those out. Why not, right?
Help us make it so we don't have to move it.
Yeah, if we can sell it to you now, we can ship it out and we don't have to move it to the other store. So that's what we're doing. So like I said in the beginning, if you missed it, we have one-of-a-kind kits today. And those kits, that means that there is something in those kits, at least one thing, sometimes multiple things, that are either super vintage and we only have one or two of, generally one of. They may be an artisan thing that the artisan, doesn't make that style anymore, or the artisan doesn't even make that thing anymore. Or that, it's just something we got from an artisan and there's not another one, at least that we have. So I put them together with things that kind of color coordinate or material coordinate with them. And I make little kits. This is the second time we've done this. The first one went over pretty well. These kits span the range of prices. I think the most expensive one we have might be in the 80s or 90s. The cheapest one I think is in the 20s, maybe the teens. I can't remember. But because these are a lot of some of these are higher end things, so a lot of them tend toward the higher end of the price range, which is why I also brought in the fair trade and the kits or the mixes. It just made sense to bring these in to kind of even it out. So there's a little something for everyone here. And so let's get started. Harry says, I got to be a hermit long ago. I worked in a photo darkroom all alone all day. I like my own company, but you guys are great too. Thank you. We like that you're here.
We like you, Harry.
Mm-hmm. I actually have one of your pieces in one of these kits, Harry, because it was the last one we have. Let's see here. Okay, let's flip the camera around. You're going to see the ceiling for a second. We don't have fancy technology here right now. I could be more fancy, but I said nah.
Oh, you're not fancy?
I'm not fancy today. I wasn't feeling fancy. I woke up too early to be fancy today. I got to flip my camera. But on my end, it is mirrored. Okay, so, ooh, don't look at that. So today is Thursday, right? Is it Thursday? It is Thursday. Jen's in tomorrow. We've got the blues today. Use blue gemstones today for the bead in the new year with Allegory Gallery. Now I'm going to be 100% honest with y'all. I have not gotten to check the bead in the new year album in like 2 days. So I got to check that out and start sharing more of your stuff, because I have seen a lot of cool stuff popping up in my feed as I'm out there trying to post stuff, but I've not gotten a dedicated chance to look at it. So I apologize for that. I try to comment on everybody's, or at least like and share some of them, but it's been a wild few days and I've not gotten to do that. But we will. We'll get back to it. Tomorrow's one of my catch-up days because Jen is in the store. And depending on how busy it is, I may go into the store a little bit too, because it is the Ice Fest tomorrow. But that's usually a catch-up day for me to get online and kind of hang out with all of you all. And we're probably going to do maybe a virtual make-along tomorrow night if you all want to, because tomorrow is get together virtually with your friends to create. So if you all want to, let me know in the comments if you'd like to hang out with us tomorrow evening on Zoom and make some stuff. Maybe we'll do that if y'all want to. If not, we're going to stay off the Zoom and stay hermits here in the house. Or probably go to the cottage if we can and do some work. Lena says, Wendy did an awesome blue woven blue sea glass bracelet. Yes, the sea glass was made out of polymer, right? If I remember correctly. Didn't she make polymer clay sea glass? Because she said the polymer was sea glass, I thought. It was really cool. Marianne said, yes, please. To the Zoom, the make-along? All right. Marianne's excited for it. That'd be great. Norma says yes to a make-along. She'll be there if we do it. All right. Lena says yes. Okay, I'm going to take notes. I want to see all your faces there. See all your faces if we do it tomorrow night.
I don't drink anymore usually, but I might have to fix myself a cocktail.
I would like to do one. We haven't done one in a long time, I feel like. Since summer, I think. Maybe fall, but I think since summer. Amanda says, yes, I'd hoping you'd have it. Okay. So I'll have to put out a thing. Keep your eye out either tonight or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow, because I got to go up to the cottage tonight and do some stuff. But we'll put a thing out there when the Zoom will be. Probably around 7:30ish, like this time. We'll start and hang out with y'all. Lena says, I'm having wine now. Marion says, I want to work on my competition pieces. Oh, good.
You can't show them though.
Don't show them, right? Amanda says, is there a theme? Just make along with your friends. That's all it is. No theme. You can do one of these. Here's your theme. Pick one. You got 30 themes to pick from. There you go. Get ahead. Nature is your inspiration. Get ahead on Saturday. How about that? Susan says, I'm planning on being in the make-along unless something changes. Need to straighten my space a bit more, though. Nah, don't worry about it.
Have you all seen our space?
I know. We've shown you ours. It is a mess.
Yeah, his room right now.
Oh,
phenomenal.
I have so many times, like, sat in my bed thinking I should go and just clean in there, but I don't even know where. It's like you don't even know where to start. Plus, it's my stuff and Andrew's stuff, and I hate to move his stuff because then I just put it in a pile, and he does not.
Then I
can't find anything. Cindy says, I would love to, but not sure I'll be around since yesterday was my daughter's birthday and we're going out to dinner. Well, happy birthday to her.
Where are you going?
Yeah, where are you going to dinner?
Anything fun?
Amanda says we could have a contest, the messiest desk or work surface.
I win.
Y'all lose. Y'all already lost. Because our work surface is like a table until it's too messy. Then it's the floor until it's too messy. And then it's the next room until it's too messy.
I've been working hard though on cleaning. I don't know if you've noticed.
Kathleen says, I would say yes, but the last time I tried to do Zoom, I messed it up. You can't mess. Don't you'll be
Did you
fine.
show your areas?
that would be a way you could mess it up, I guess. But it's pretty easy.
I was in a Zoom meeting and I think they thought that the camera was off, and I was like, "Whoa, whoa!"
It is not off. Susan says that's no contest. I'd win. Lena says I win. I don't know, y'all.
We got a whole other building full of stuff.
Amanda says, to me, mine looks tidy, but others would not agree. I spent a lot of time tidying.
As messy as our area looks, I can pretty much zero and pinpoint where every single
he knows where stuff is. Let's see. Khalidi is here. Hello, Khalidi. Thank you for joining us. Danette says, my whole house is a mess. Took a load of items to Salvation Army on Monday. One was a Christmas tree that I loved. Bought it 30 years ago, and it was still beautiful. Killed me to give it away.
Why did you give it away?
Why'd you do it?
Are you just making space?
Cindy says, to her husband's mom and dad's restaurant. That's nice.
Is it good?
Is it good? Did I say Cindy said or Susan? In my head, I said Cindy said, but I may have said Susan says. Cindy says it's a Cuban restaurant. Ooh, that sounds good.
I miss a good Cuban sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
There was one in Brooklyn where I would get plantain chips with it.
I love plantain chips. I love fried plantains in general. That's something we can still eat.
Good, but we just don't have them here.
Sometimes you can find them. Sometimes
really?
Either Walmart or even Giant Eagle. I've seen them there once in a while.
What?
Yeah. But I know there are two different kinds of plantains, and I don't know which ones I've seen. Lena says, I used to know where stuff was until Poopy, quote unquote, helped. That's what happens if I move things, even in my room here. Andrew's like, thanks for helping. He's like, it's ours now. He still calls it my office when it suits. But
that's like how some of the cats are his kids.
It's like your children.
Oh my gosh, last night, y'all, I was having deep emotional issues, and then I hear there's a sound come from the other room. Tallulah had broken because we have to keep the food in a safe now.
We keep the food in a locked cabinet.
So let me preface this. 20 minutes beforehand, William woke up out of the blue and fed the cats. Because he's like, they look hungry, they need a snack. So he goes and he gives them extra. And then I'm over here feeling my feelings. And then I hear this crashing sound. So I run in there. And Tallulah had opened the vault, the food vault, pulled down the snacks, and pushed it onto the floor so it knocked off the lid. And she was feasting her little hungry hippo heart out as hard and ferocious as she can.
And this is not the first time she has done this.
One time she ate a whole thing of snacks by herself. And it's not the boy cats. They're like
they're like, you're gonna get in trouble.
They're so chill now.
Yeah.
And then the kittens, I don't know. Man.
They're wild. Danette says she would have 3 Christmas trees and doesn't need 3 Christmas trees.
We don't put up a Christmas tree anymore because of the cats.
No. Susan says it's good to know real life people don't have perfectly curated workspaces. That's only for the TV. If we're on YouTube, it looks clean.
No, it doesn't.
But
Did you see any of the recent ones?
There's some stuff behind us.
Your sublimation stuff.
But that's actually work stuff. Like that's stuff that I use almost every day when it's not cold.
But that does not look pristine.
No, but it's functional.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like here.
This is functional.
That desk is not function. It does not function as a desk anymore. I could not use my Cricut if I needed to,
Sure,
for
you
example. Yeah, if you take everything off of it first. Amy says, I love mofongo.
could. That sounds good.
Dinesh says, I've seen plantains at Latrobe and Indiana Walmart. And also the giant eagles. Amanda says, I once made a fried plantain. A chef showed me you double fry them. First fry a chunk, take it out, flatten it, then fry it again. Yep, add salt. Yep, you gotta smash them down. Fry them a little bit, smash them down, fry them again. They get super sweet then. Oh, what else is going on? Did some cleaning, says Khalidi. This week and next week. Or last week and this week. Now my body's in shock. Yeah, I don't know what would happen.
About cleaning?
Yeah, we'd be
in shock.
Be in shock if we clean. I walk in here and be like, what happened? Harry says, our tree is still out and lit up. The cats love the lights. I bet they do.
Yeah, we had a Christmas tree one year when we first moved to Pennsylvania.
Yep, we put one up. A real one. My brother got it for us. Hauled it up the stairs to the second floor of our apartment. It was a big tree, too.
That was nice.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that Paolo had tinsel sticking out of his bum cheeks.
Yeah, we used tinsel because we both grew up using tinsel. So we said, let's have an old-fashioned tinsel. And that was not the greatest.
And then we were like, oh
no.
It's like the new parents when do you know how some parents, the first kids,
very
like
different than the next kid, yeah.
And then the next ones is not.
No. Let's see. Danette, I have to go through my Christmas items since we were planning on moving. I bought a pre-lit tree 2 years ago. I have an aluminum Christmas tree that I will never give up.
Is that the colored ones?
I don't know. Since that a few weeks after we got Smokey, my hubs caught him on the highest shelf in the pantry. He had ripped open a bag of nacho chips and was munching away.
On nachos?
Danette says, what does a plantain taste like?
It depends who cooks it.
If they're cooked well, it's like a almost sugary, because it gets that fried sugar on the outside, and then they're super sweet on the inside.
That depends who's doing it. Because sometimes
I had my Puerto Rican friends doing it.
So depending on who is cooking it and what their culture is, sometimes people like it to be sweet, and then some people do not like it sweet. When I was growing up, we had the sweet ones, and the sugars in the plantain almost caramelize.
Yeah, they do on the outside.
And it becomes very, it's like a banana on crack. It's beautiful.
Yep.
I don't know what crack's like, but I can just imagine. But some people don't like the sweet ones, so they get like the green ones and they fry those, and it's almost like a starchy, almost potato. It's very.
Who's that does that?
I don't know. I've had that, but it's not caramelized.
I'm like, you did this wrong.
It's just
I know.
Different.
Yeah, they don't. But they don't do the smash and fry and right.
I've had it, but it's not sweet like that. It's very like starchy.
Usually it's prepared different. Because I think I've had it where it's more starchy, but they don't prepare it the same way.
It's like a chip. It's like a chip.
Yeah, I've had them dehydrated too, and like that.
Oh, like those Terra chips?
And they're not that great. They're okay, but
that's not the same.
Yeah.
Even though it's the same thing.
Michelle says, my work area has gotten unworkable. That's why we got a shelf. Hopefully next week we get everything done. That's good. Marianne says, my plans for tomorrow are dishwashing and laundry.
We need to do that as well.
Yes.
Has anybody else?
Danette says, I do have a color wheel to go with the aluminum tree.
Oh, good. Is anybody else get more sensitive to sounds as they get older?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I'm in the kitchen, I have earplugs in my pocket
I've been like that the last few years.
because every
But
sound,
different sounds.
and you know, I used to work in a professional kitchen,
I know.
and now I'm like,
I can't even put the dishes away when he's in the kitchen. It drives
I have to
him
leave.
nuts. I'm like, go away.
And I don't take offense to that at all. I'm like, hi, I'll be back in a minute.
Amy says, I like fried plantains with garlic.
It's so savory.
Amanda already has to go. I know, dude. Let's go show some stuff now. Bye, Amanda. Sorry you have to go. Have a good night. Okay. Here's the first kit, everybody. Let's move this out of the way. Let's move this in so our color correction works a little better.
Do you want that cloth?
I don't know.
Do y'all want the cloth or not?
I think the table, it is pretty, but I think the table shows the colors better. I don't know. I take pictures with that. Let's do the cloth. Let's change it up a little bit.
This is so flippin' soft.
Yeah, that's my soft one.
This is delightful.
Some of them are really hard.
They need to be washed
Laundered.
and warm.
Okay. Marion says, not sound sensitive any more than I used to be. I have always been a little bit for certain things, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm any more either than I feel like I am on some things. Okay.
Does that mean that I'm getting that extra neurodivergent or whatever?
I don't know what that means. So here's how we do this. Let me put the banner up. To purchase, take down the lot number. We're starting at, like I said, at NDK 12. NDK 12 because we went 1 to 11 the other day, 2 weeks ago. Khalidi says the cloth adds a nice vibe. Danette says Latrobe and Derry school districts closed for tomorrow due to anticipated snow. Might be getting a lot of people for a lot of families for Ice Fest.
Or none.
Or none. So this starts with this right here. This was $59 retail. I took it down to $47 for you. $47. So that's a lot of money off. These are all at least about 20% off, everybody. I went wild. So you start with this. You're going to get this lot of wooden beads. Let me take these out so you can see them. Cara says, I can't shop in stores where they blast music in the background much. It's too much anymore.
We play music, but
we don't blast the music.
Because I can't hear. So that's the other thing.
You're going to get
this restaurant and they played hardcore rock and roll. I thought I was going to go crazy because it was so loud.
You're going to get this strand of green African jasper. Really pretty, I think. Again, these are all kits that I put together today. There's a lot of stuff in this kit. Then this is the piece that inspired the whole kit. This is from Harry. This is a Harry Raku piece. And this is a cabochon. So it has some browns and greens and some of that kind of rainbowy effect in there.
Are you still going to do Raku, Harry?
And
I know you closed your shop.
And then we have these, which are silver leaf jasper beads. You get 2 of the silver leaf jasper beads. And then you get this Nikki Thornburg Lanigan lampwork glass bead. And then you get 4 of these African glass, recycled glass beads. So if you bought all this retail, it retails for $59. And you can get the kit. There's only one. There's only one of every one of these. So the first person to email us gets it. And it's $47 for you. Whoever that is. whoever wants it. Hopefully people like these. I don't know. It takes a lot of time to make these. So I hope you enjoy them and you buy them. Barnaby, I hear you down there, buddy.
You're playing with something.
You got a bug or a bead? Marianne says, NDK 12, well curated kit, William. Thank you. Michelle says, wow, very cool.
He does such a good job.
It's too bad there's only one of each of these, and I know they're more expensive in a lot of cases, but that's because I try to make I try to pick artisan beads, and I don't limit myself when I make these. Maybe I should, but like when we make kits and we make multiples, mostly when Andrew makes kits and makes multiples, we have a price range in mind that we try not to go over. With these, I just let it go wild. I'm like, oh, this goes with this goes with that. So it's a little bit easier that way, but I don't know if we're going to sell as many, but we'll see. Lenna says, I can totally see a great 3-piece set out of that. And like I said, these are kits, they're not necessarily meant to make any one thing. They're meant as inspiration kits. Like sometimes in some of these, I've thrown in some stringing materials. Like one of these I think has leather, but the leather does not work with the beads that are in the kit. So just so you know, and I'll bring that up again when I do it. But it's just a nice coordination and something to get your mind kind of running on that colorway.
Sometimes I'll buy a kit and I will like with just one thing from it, and then the rest is just kind of like bonus.
Yeah, that happens a lot for me when I buy things. Try not to, but it's like when you used to buy a CD or a record for one song, and then you're like, sometimes, although I did often listen to the whole thing and end up liking. That's how I like a lot of albums now. But now I don't do that so much because we listen to just any one song. You don't listen to the
release music the same way anyway.
Well, a lot of times, like my favorite artists still release them by album, but they don't. You don't.
A lot of them they have to do with the LP that they create.
Or an EP.
EP. And then they just do that one song, and then it gets money, and then they do the next song.
Yep. But that was, they used to release one on the radio, and then they'd release another one on the radio. Still kind of just different mediums. But I don't go and listen to the whole albums anymore because I don't physically have them as much. I don't know why it's that different, but it is. So this is check glass in this kit. This is NDK 13, $44 originally, down to $35. This is English cut check glass. And then these are very large hole Peruvian ceramic beads. So we have those.
Those that no longer made.
Yeah, no more of those. This is one of the reasons this kit is limited, but there are more reasons why this kit is limited too. And we threw in one of these. This is a cherry flying eagle cutout pendant of ours. And then this is a Mystic Moon lampwork glass set. These are lampwork glass beads by Mystic Moon.
We used to be set up next to her shows.
And then you get 2 of these leopard skin jasper beads. So you get 2 of those. Cody says, no, I want malted milk balls. They sound good. I just had some of those the other day. Chocolate covered malted milk balls.
They were different.
They were, yeah, like more handmade. They're not like the ones from the box. They were handmade ones.
He gave me one, and I had this idea in my mind of what I was expecting, and then it was different.
Yeah. And then you get this Unikite strand, adding a little hint of green in there. And then the piece that started it all, this Jenny Davies Reeser ceramic, which has all those colors. There's like kind of the light yellow from here and golden colors. There's the green colors in here, and of course the browns and the chocolates in there. So that was NDK 13, $44, now $35. And these prices will be good until I either take these kits apart or put them in the online store. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I might just put them in the online store so we don't have to put all this stuff back and move it.
Everything's getting moved, Brian.
I know, but this can move just to the cottage and stay there.
Everything's getting moved.
One thing is getting moved. Some things get moved all the way to Johnstown. Other things get moved just to the cottage.
Hopefully it will get moved to a new home.
That would be great.
Adopt the beads.
Y'all want to adopt these?
Play the Sarah McLachlan.
Amy says add to the D-Stash group, maybe. Maybe. If you think people might like them over there. This is a more inexpensive one, but I really like it. This is NDK 14. It was $18.50. Now it's $14.50. And it starts with this German resin. These little bubbles of German resin.
I think I'm going to change the name of the D-Stash group.
To what?
Maybe AG Surplus.
That'd be good. Something like that. He says, I don't want my name on it anymore.
I know. If I become a hermit, then
and
go into the West.
Then you're going to get these little kind of beehive painted wood beads. And then you're going to get this check glass dagger strand. And then you're going to get these check glass tile beads. Let me just show you what these look like. These here. So check glass, you're going to get a whole bag of those. All right, I'm just taking some out so you can kind of see the color better. And then this is another Mystic Moon lampwork glass bead, and you're going to get that. So let me show you that a little better. So that's where the color inspiration for all of that came from. NDK 14 was $18.50, now it's $14.50. Colady says, love how you show the beads, William. Thank you. Glad you like it. I want everybody to like what we do and how we do it. That's the best. I don't like how long it takes me to pick up the beads, however. Okay. Oh, Barb brought us bags. She's like, I saw you were using like old bags. I'm like, yeah, we're using whatever we have. She says, here's some bags. I'm like, that's good. Lena says, love the inspiration beads. Yeah, I always like to find one bead. Actually, in this one, it was a combination. I saw these, and I saw that Mystic Moon bead. And I was like, okay, we got to do something with these together. And this is the Mystic Moon lamp work, and that is cool. Thank you. I didn't do it, but thank you. I picked it. That's all I did.
She used to be our neighbor.
At the shows. Okay, this is a big one here. NDK 15.
Do you think we should try to do that show again?
Which one?
Bead Fest.
I don't know.
It's not called Bead Fest anymore. Maker Fest.
We have to see what we have by then. Or what we can get together. Did it? Oh no, that's that. This is NDK 15, $93 originally. There's some nice stuff in this one, down to $74. So the inspiration for this one came from this Raku heart. This is a Raku heart from Marion Kasparian. And this is green with some like silvery gold accents.
She was on the other side of us.
She's a hoot. I like her a lot.
She put her hair on my head.
Yeah.
Because I was complaining because it was so cold.
Suzanne says, take your name off the group. Surplus sounds trashy to her. We don't want the beads to sound trashy.
What do you like? What do you think about cheap, yum yum?
Ooh, I thought that was a staple. It is a jump ring in my sock. All right.
Perfect.
Amy says, I thought the return of Beadfest has been lackluster. She also says,
that.
Mac is awesome.
I like that venue.
Mm-hmm.
The Lancaster, I like it. It's not too far.
Suzanne says, excellent, LOL. All right, so you get the Makuraku. That was the inspiration for this. And then I saw that green and silvery gold, and I went for these to bring that out a little bit. So this is a strand of check glass, and you get that. And then I saw these leaves, and they have this dark green, light green kind of combination going on. So you can see. So I pulled those. And then I love, love, love this. This is vintage check. And somewhere up here I used to, I don't know where it went. I had found my black light. These glow under the black light.
I can give you one. Oh, I have a different kind of black light.
Did you put batteries in it?
Huh?
Did you put batteries in it?
It's charged. You charge it.
Oh, okay. So this is vintage check. And you get that. It's a green and black.
So did you know that black lights come in different flavors?
Hit it.
This is a medium.
There it goes.
A medium wave. So you know those stones that we have that says
highly fluorescent,
and they don't look like nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Under this, they turn rainbow color.
Oh, nice.
Not all of them, of course.
And then this is what also kicks up the price. So the Makuraku, that's a $36 piece. And then this is a $32 strand of AAA grade green garnet smooth rounds that I thought really looked really pretty with all of this. Look at that green garnet. This is a AAA from our vendor. And that is NDK 13, $93 down to $74, y'all. That's crazy good. That's like this and this together, and then the rest is free. How about that? It's like you get this for free, and you get that for free, and you get this for free. So what
like wide open.
I know. Now what do I do with my bag? Lost my bag. Good thing I have many more.
Thanks, Barb.
I know. Barb says, I always watch these, sometimes later at night, sometimes in the morning. She says, but I never actually watch while you're live. I said, you're going to have to watch sometime. She says, I would like to.
You'll be like a celebrity.
Vanessa says, those have been my favorite leaves. Leaves is stunning. Vanessa sent a green heart. Thank you. Glad you like them. I hope somebody's buying some of these. I spent like 3 hours making kits today. It takes a long time.
It's pretty quick.
That's
pretty quick.
What's pretty quick?
3 hours.
3 hours to make 16.
Yeah, those aren't too bad.
So this is NDK 16, and this was $57. We're taking it down to $45. Do you like to see the piece that inspired it first, or do you like to see that last? What do you all like? Let me know. Cheryl says, buying, question mark? Perhaps. Oh, good. Hopefully. Like I said, I know these prices are a little higher for these in some cases, but I think they're well worth it. And like I said, I didn't want to constrain myself with pricing, so I didn't. I did a little bit because I could have gone crazier. Inspiration first, says Marianne. Suzanne says first. Amy says first. Okay. Lennis says first. Okay. Y'all are like the opposite of me. I like to see everything and then be like, oh, that ties it perfectly together.
Dessert last.
Dessert last, right? You all like the dessert first. Okay. Hold on. I think my screen went, yeah. I'm not seeing true colors. It went yellow. Okay. So the inspiration first, then, are these unicorn glass, I don't know what you call them. They look like little magic hats. But aren't they cool?
I would say it's a floral cone.
A floral cone, okay. Some kind of cone. They're really cool. And they really have they have really cool colors to them.
They do look like a floral, like a flower, you know, like a tallow lily.
Yeah, they do.
A special, special flower.
Special, special flower. Suzanne just had king cake. Ooh, I want dessert now.
We've been trying to be not.
We watched this show, which really, Andrew decided he's vegan now.
No, I'm not completely. But that horrifying.
That was horrifying. There's this show on, I forget, it's on Netflix. I forget the name.
Some twin experiment.
But it's an experiment on twins. One of them eats vegan and one of them eats a very healthy omnivore diet. And I will say that in the end, the findings weren't as, I think, as crazy far apart as I thought they might be. But the video does, or it's a 4-part series. It does focus very heavily on industrial farming.
The environmental impact.
Environmental impacts, the look of it, the feel of it, what it's about, and it's
horrifying.
It's horrifying.
So you know what? They did a thing about Duplin County, and that's where that ancestor is that I showed you that picture of. He was responsible, one of the people who was responsible for splitting Duplin County and Sampson County.
Mm.
So where they're having all that horrible spraying pig feces on the neighbors, that's where
your people come from?
My people come from.
Susan asked, are they identical twins? Yes, they did that specifically. They follow 4 sets in the series, but there are 21 or 22 sets of identical twins because they wanted them to share the same DNA and to see how, and they figured that they were much like each other to begin with. So they were starting off at the same place or very close. This is the next piece in this. So this, I have these, and then this came from that inspiration there. And then I have one of these check glass strands.
Yeah, when they show that,
it's something like what should you eat or what would you eat, and it's identical twins or something. I just shared it from I just shared it to my mom yesterday. This seems like something she would like.
It was really fascinating, I thought.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
At first, when you had it on, I thought it was like one of those diet shows.
Oh, like The Biggest Loser, like I watch?
I'm not a big fan of those. But
they motivate me sometimes.
I don't know. I sometimes get the opposite reaction to what those shows.
So these are triangles in red aventurine.
Like we were watching this one show, and it was like all about like eating healthy, and they kept showing the bad food, but the bad food looked delicious.
It did look good.
And so I was like,
You're like, this is not working the way they think it is.
Or they'll have those like shows where you're supposed to like you're supposed to like fall in love with a character, and then I get like the opposite.
Yeah. And then this is, I love these. Anne says, it's called You Are What You Eat. I don't need to watch that. Food is already so gross.
Oh my gosh, it's horrifying.
Yeah.
When they go to the cattle places and do the pan out.
They do it from a drone, and you
Oh my
see how
goodness.
big the industrial farming for cattle is and the amount of no grass there
There's
is.
not, it's all brown
Like dirt.
forever.
Yeah. They don't really show a lot of the animals so much. The chickens they did focus on a little bit. That was not good. But I love, speaking of things I love, these. These are vintage Czech glass. Bringing it back. So this is this kit inspired by these to get all of this, which I think is real. This is one of my favorites actually of the night. I like this one a lot. NDK 16, $57, now down to $45. Let's see here. Suzanne's trying a Mediterranean diet. That's supposed to be very good for you.
What do you eat? Is it like pasta?
No, it is not like pasta. It's like fish and things they'd have in Greece, the Greek diet. Olives and fish. And Andrew's like, can I eat pasta?
Like
maybe
lasagna?
You could have pasta and lasagna. But
gnocchi?
Dominion Movement says vegan isn't for health or a diet, although you don't consume cholesterol by avoiding animal consumption by default, which is a plus there.
They had the people, they lost, what is that, visceral fat around their organs.
Yeah, the bad fat around your organs. That is the one thing the vegans, like, vegans mostly lost muscle because they weren't eating enough. Because they had them on a meal plan, and then they had them also like for the first 4 or 6 weeks they had a meal plan that was sent to them, and then the other next 4 or 6 weeks they had to eat on their own, and they weren't eating enough to compensate for losing their muscle mass.
I don't think we're eating enough.
So that is one thing that they said, that when you're vegan, you do have to make sure you generally eat more than you think, because you feel full much faster. Well, not faster, but you feel full because you're eating a lot of stuff, but you need to eat more. Anyway.
And that one dude, he cured his diabetes.
But they lost muscle mass, but they also lost that very important fat around your organs, and every one of the vegans did that.
And then they said that
their identical twins did not.
They said that not that we have this issue, but then they had where the vegan people, they got more, it increased their forest fire.
Their forest fire.
Their
personal forest fires. All right. This is, I think, the most expensive kit of the evening. It was $116. It's now $90. This starts out, the inspiration for this was this Heather Powers Humble Bead long floral tube. And this has beautiful greens and blues and purples. Marianne says, I will remain an omnivore. Also, only the vegans gained, I forget what the word is, on their DNA, which shows that they are biologically aging less.
Yeah, it starts with a T.
Starts with a T.
It sounds like Telluride, but it's not.
Yeah, they're gaining years back on their biological age? I think is what they called it. Whereas the omnivores did not. They aged as they thought, but
normal.
They aged as normal. But the vegans, on just, I think it was, what, a 6-month thing? In just 6 months, 8 weeks and 8 weeks only? In
I
just
thought it was 8 weeks.
whatever it was, in just that short amount of time, they were able to reverse their aging biologically, which is pretty cool, I think.
Yeah.
But they said every little bit of meat that you eat cancels that out. That's
So
when
does that
Andrew.
mean that I'm useful,
That's when Andrew's like, "Well, I'm gonna go vegan now.
so I can be beautiful.
Be beautiful and age backwards." All right. So, what makes this kit so expensive? First, this is the Heather Powers bead. You know, they're not crazy expensive, but then we added in some of this vintage check glass, which, as you can see, is also not that expensive, but it has a beautiful color combination that matches with this. There's a little bit of like an AB finish on this that reflects purple. I don't know if you can see that. One of these had a really nice purple flash just now, but there's a purple flash to it. Sochi is here. Thank you for joining in.
We did get some stuff to try out. Like
Telomeres. So she says telomeres. That's it. I'm pretty sure that's the word. See, you joined in just to save the day there. And then these are purple. What are these, Andrew? I don't know if it's crystal or if it's, I think it's crystal.
No, it's a stone.
It's a stone.
It's like lavender or amethyst.
Lavender amethyst. It was never, I never had it labeled. So let's say it's probably an amethyst. So you get these are microfaceted. And you get a whole strand of those with that. And then you get these vintage Japanese beads, these little vintage Japanese drops. This is kind of brings in the white. I wanted something to break up the colors and pull the white out in the bead. So you have those. The Mimimu said that's interesting about telomeres. There are surely several health benefits if you're being mindful of that for yourself. It's a win-win.
We're vegetarians, but I'm mostly a vegetarian because I like to poop. I know somebody that said, "Oh, he said."
Oh,
poop.
he said it again. There he goes. Poop talk.
But it's true. I found that as I got older, I would hold on to stuff longer and felt kind of heavy and kind of gross.
And this
but
is
I will say that I've gained weight since becoming vegetarian, so I don't know.
You've also stopped all exercise.
Well,
over
during
the
the pandemic,
pandemic.
I couldn't leave the house, so.
These are double A grade aquamarine, and this is the high price, y'all. These are $76 for this strand. That's the high price in that kit. But look how beautiful that is when you put everything together. How could I resist doing that? I couldn't. So that's the kit. NDK 17, $90. $90. Susan says, "You aren't that old, Andrew."
Are we gonna have to talk about this again? I'm middle-aged. In the middle.
He's in the
That's
middle.
what the middle means. I'm not Methuselah.
All right. What's next? I think this one. I got them out of order here for a second.
It's because my
Marianne says
Telluride
NDK 17.
are longer and I look so young.
Khalid says magnesium helps in over 200 bodily functions, including happy poops. Yes.
That's why we take it.
Ever since I've been taking it for my heart, I have been nearly 100% consistent daily. Let's just say that. Same time every day. Almost every day.
I feel less achy.
Yeah, it does help your muscles.
I could be making that up.
Nope, it helps. It definitely helps.
Y'all didn't know that this is the weather and health channel.
Right? Did y'all know that? All right, what was
Reality
the thing?
TV.
Oh, speaking of Andrew, this is NDK 18, $39.50 down to $30. This is what inspired this kit. These little porcelain beads by Andrew. So they're a little bit kind of red magenta, a little bit gray, brown. Got some nice shades in there. So that inspired all of this. So these
Those are done in a dyeing process. Did you know that?
What kind of dyeing process?
A complicated one.
Is this complicated trade secret?
Maybe boiling up chemicals and dumping stuff. No, there are certain inks that adhere to the porous surface, and if you heat up the material, it helps the ink or the dye to absorb.
So that's those. And then these are vintage Czech. Beautiful, these little red maroon tubes that I think really pull out that color in there. And then this is modern Czech. These little red rondelles with the gold. And then I threw in 2 of these leopard skin jasper beads. Hey, Gertie. Leopard skin jaspers here. This is another one of my favorite kits today. And then you got these African glass. These are pretty cool. African glass beads here. And then, oops, you actually get more of those. There's 6 of those. Hello, Ida Bell. And then you get these mukite. A strand. This is, I think, an 8-inch strand of mukite. This is really pretty. I picked a nice strand for this kit too. And then the last strand in here is a nice big strand of red jasper chunky chips. So there you have that. That's NDK 18, $39.50 retail, down to $30 for y'all. Down to $30. NDK 18. All right. Now, I keep losing my bags. There's my bag. Hello, sweetheart. Cheryl says, love this one. Thank you. Susan says, Ida Bell sounds like Phil. Making a little noise. A little talk. I'm going to say hi to everybody. Interesting finds. I like the one-of-a-kind theme. Thank you. Dominion movement. Julie says, love it. This, like I said, this is one of my favorites. This one could possibly maybe be, no, I think there are 2 things in this, that there's only 1 or 2 of it. One thing. I was going to say maybe I can make another one of these, but I don't think I can. All right, what's next? This one. Demi Moon says you should sell mosaic supplies and other stoneware products for home decorating projects. You could expand your customer base.
Maybe you should do it.
We've thought about doing different kinds of craft. We would get into a lot of different things before we did that, most likely. But maybe if I get enough broken pottery, that's what it'll turn into.
Just use beads.
Right?
Carol used beads. She stuck them in there. It worked.
It works. All right. Let me move my seat a little bit closer. Oh,
you probably have seen her house, Dominion Movement, because she comes here, right?
It was from here, I think, right?
You know Carol Hager?
Carol Hager.
She
So in
has-
this one, NDK 19, 7625, you get these. These are vintage West German faceted crystal ring mirrored sew-on beads. So they look like this. And this is the back with the mirrored finish. So you get, we sell these by the bag. You get a bag of 6 of those. And then this is what inspired it right here. This is earthenwood, and it's a set, a pair. And they know it's Melanie, right? No longer makes beads.
No, she doesn't.
She doesn't do
Hey,
ceramics.
Barb's watching.
Oh yeah? Where's
She
Barb
said,
watching?
Hello, I am watching live today for the first time.
Where?
On the
How did I
internet.
move? How did I miss seeing it?
Everybody tell Barb about how good of a job she does so that she doesn't abandon us.
Right. I still don't see Barb.
Maybe she have a secret way.
She must. So you get the earthenwood. That was the inspiration, kind of that gray color. Julie says those are great for jean jackets. Yeah, if you want any of these, we sell these. We have a limited supply. They're only $2.50 for a bag of 6 of those. And then you get this strand of the hamsa in this kind of gray black to coordinate with that. And then I threw in some Buddha heads too in this white with the kind of silvery gray finish. Anne says, yes, you do a fantastic job, Barb. I really appreciate all your work. Susan says, hi, Barb. Thanks for taking wonderful care of our shipping. And then check glass here. Julie says, Barb, you're the best. Michelle says, hi, Barb. See, look at all this love. All this love. I'm not lying. It's all right here. Marianne, Barb, you were amazing at shipping. See? Yay for Barb, says Suzanne.
You know, if it wasn't for Barb, we wouldn't even be in this house.
I know. We got this house from Barb.
And her brother.
Lena says, love Earthwind Studio. Loved her pieces in the art show. Still for sale on website. Are they? They were supposed to be taken down. I thought I took them down. Is that a question that they are, or is it a question if they are? Look it up, Andrew.
Going back, so...
They went back.
Oh, they went back.
So they should. That's why they should not be on the website. I thought I took them all down. Maybe I just hid them from the homepage and forgot to actually take them down. Sometimes I hide them from myself.
They're up.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
Then I gotta clear them out. Don't buy any of it, anybody.
Or we're just gonna send you to Melanie.
Right. So these are little agate smooth pebbles.
You know we're going to take a cut from stuff you saw on your website.
Norma says, hi, Barb. Thanks for all you do. Michelle says, thank you for everything you do, Barb. Julie says, Barb is a class act. Thank you. She is.
Well, she's nice.
She puts up with us. And the last piece in this is white chalcedony rondelles. Look at how beautiful. They look like opalite, but they're real. They're a real stone. And so you get a strand of that. So that is originally retailing for $76.25. It's now $60. $60. That's NDK 19. 19. Do y'all like that one? That one was a little bit harder. Trying to stick to white. There's not a lot of white, but like that kind of off-white too. But once I saw these, I was like, I have to do something with these. I have to make something around that.
She said, well, well, thanks to all. My pleasure to pack the pretty off to you all.
Okay.
How cold is it in the cottage?
I can't check while I'm
Oh,
on
I
the...
was like, maybe I'll go with you. I'll bundle up like the Arctic.
I cannot check while I'm live. I mean, I could, but I might lose everybody.
Don't do it.
It's not worth it. This is NDK 20, $44.75, but not your price, not for you all. For you all, $35. $35. The thing that spearheaded this were these sea urchin spine beads. These here. So you get that strand. There's only that strand that we have available. Some are shorter, some have, you know, broken on their way to us. That happens. But I think they're really cool. So you get those. And then I paired them with these size 8 vintage French, they call them pink purple haze seed beads. Aren't those nice? Those are so, they're one of my favorite tubes of vintage seed beads.
I love those.
So you get those. And then I said, ooh, let's do more seed bead stuff. This is the metallic bugle bead. And look at these. Excuse me. I believe these are on the website as well. If you like these, you can grab them there. But look how pretty they are. Michelle says, wow, those are very trippy beads. Pretty cool. And then you get, whoa, dropping the beads. I love this strand. Susan says, bless you, thank you. I love this strand. Oh, cat hair on it now, of course. Fall on the floor, it's going to come up with cat hair.
That'd be one thing that's nice when you clean your room.
When I clean my room. See how it is? It was just our room a little bit ago. Amazing how that happens, isn't it? So there's that. And then you also get these beautiful purple beads. Julie has to serve dinner. Hope there's my favorites left when I go back to replay. Good night, AG Bead Fam. Good night, Julie. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So this one was $44.75. Now it's only $35. That's a good deal. That's a good deal, I think.
Julie was it?
Julie Liston.
Oh, hello, friend.
Okay, now I got to get these sea urchin spines. I have them in a separate little bag.
You know, I still haven't heard from Helen. I hope she's okay.
Marion says, I guess tomorrow I should vacuum up some of that cat hair too.
I'm listening to a new series, Martha Wells.
Oh, you got some credits? That's what that means. No?
Library book.
Oh, library. Wow, this is a heavy bag for this
Do you
place.
have extra credit, William?
No, it's mine. That's my credit.
That's for a book club book.
We don't have book club.
We have one more book club book.
Do we? Do we?
Uh-huh. It's The Language of Flowers.
I think they're making it up.
Fine, William. You're going to have an awkward meeting if you don't read the book. If nobody reads the book except for
you.
And Norma.
All right. This is NDK 21, was $48.50, now $38. And where's the inspiration for this one? It's in this little bag. The inspiration for this one was another Heather Powers bead. And it was this little pineapple bead. I love this little pineapple bead.
Who was reading Starling House? Was that Susan? Is that real?
I don't know. Is that you, Susan? Or who is it? Fess up. So you get this little pineapple bead, and it had these beautiful yellows and oranges and kind of browns in there. So that's where I went with this. So you're going to get 5 tubes of different vintage seed beads. You're going to get these 2 yellows. 2 different yellows. You're going to get these 2 different kind of golden orangey colors. As soon as I missed that, what was it?
Did you read Starling House?
Starling House.
Oh, has anybody seen Jacqueline? Remember Jacqueline? Her husband died.
I have not, I don't think.
I need to check up on these people.
Lena says, Poopy got me the complete language of flowers for my birthday.
It's different. This one fiction.
Susan says, yes, I'm reading it right now.
Do you like it?
And then you get these. I figured this has some of the green in there from the little top. That's the only green really that I got in there. But you got this little mix of vintage seed beads here. This is NDK 21. And then I lied. There's a little bit more green right here in this check glass. Michelle says, wasn't her husband in the hospital for a while?
The one that have a COVID?
Is that Jacqueline Desjardins? Is that who you're talking about?
I think so.
And then I have another one of these beautiful fire polished check glass strands. Susan says, at this point, yes, it started out on a very grim note. Susie says, you are selling kits. That's what we're selling. One of a kind. So these are all one of a kind kits. Cannot make another. We only have enough stuff like this. I only have one of these. So that was the basis for this whole kit. It is not meant to make any particular thing. These are inspiration kits only. If you'd like to purchase, instructions are scrolling down here. Take down each lot number. This is NDK21. Send that to us in an email at info@allegorygallery.com. Make sure it's info@allegorygallery.com. We are not info@allegory.com or any other derivation of that. It's allegorygallery.com. We get that. We say that a lot because we get that mistake a lot. And this is only $38. There's more to come in this kit, everybody. Look how much there is. Look how much. Here's another check glass strand. And here's a strand of stone picture jasper. Check out this picture jasper. I thought that went with this pretty well. Kind of toned down some of the glossy, shiny. Just a little bit of toning down, and then I bounced it right back up with some beautiful crystal. Susan says the color theme of this reminds me of tangerine juice. I would like that. So this is a big strand of this crystal. So that is NDK 21. You get a lot in that kit for now $38. The retail on that was $48.50, and now you can get it for $38 only. I'm doing at least 20% off. As long as I did my math right, it should be 20% off all of these kits for their retail price.
Good job.
Thanks. Trying to do good by our people today.
What happened to Andrea Bieber? Did she ever get her account back?
I think she did. She just got her car stuck today. She got her husband's car out, and then she got her car out, I think she said, for her husband to go to work. And then she tried to get his car out and then got it stuck. And then her son, I think, and her neighbor, and she got it out and got it stranded in the neighbor's driveway, but at least it was out.
And they are in a place of snow? I thought they live in California.
I don't know. I should know that, but I don't actually know. Now, where's my...
Didn't he use to work for Twitter?
He used to. I don't know if he still does. I think he moved somewhere else. They renewed, I think, his contract, but I think he found something else. I can't remember.
I can't remember.
This is NDK 22. It was $56.80, and now it's $45 for y'all. Oh, I do like this one. This is another one of those kind of reddy ones. I like these red ones. Let me see. What was the inspiration on this one? Oh. Susie says, random question, is spiny coral orange? I am feeling you need to find it. You guys have it. I think that's the name of the stone. I figure you guys will know. Spiny oyster, you mean? Spiny oyster can be orange. It can also be purple. I think we have a strand in our online store right now that's more purple. That's generally a little bit more rare. You see it orangey red a lot. And we actually have a spiny oyster shell in our store that we show people that it's actually colored, that it's not fake. So yes, it can be kind of orangey color. Spiny oyster, though, is I think what you're talking about.
What did she say?
Spiny coral. It's actually a spiny oyster. Now there's also coral, and of course coral can come in many colors, and they dye coral too. So this is NDK 22. This is $56.80 originally, down to $45, and the inspiration for it was this lily-pilly carved little charm. It's kind of orangey and brown in there, so I took that and found some red raksha and added some red raksha to this because I figured that has that kind of coloring to it. See that?
You want to see something neat?
Always. And then while these didn't seem to go, and when I pulled them and then I put them there, I think they look good with it. These are just some little wooden beads, little wooden triangles. And I think they break up some of the orangey that you're going to see coming with all this, the brown orange color. What's Andrew doing?
One of our customers gave us these. This is what the trees look like of the red raksha.
I was like, what is that? I couldn't see them. So there's the red raksha tree.
And that's how it looks.
And then I always tell people it's a blue fruit. There's the fruit of the red raksha. So this is the seed inside of the blue fruit from this tree. So there you go. What else you got there? From the sacred forest.
That's in Hawaii.
So there you go. Now you all know too. Look, there's one of them too. Sitting right there, red raksha fruit. Okay, so you get that. And then you're going to get this check glass strand. These little kind of dog bone-esque shapes. And again, this is NDK 22. Your price on this is $45 as opposed to $56.80. So you're going to get that strand. And then I threw in some peach moonstone. So these are peach moonstone little nuggets. Andrew left the room, Khalidi. She's asking, do humans eat the blue fruit? I do not think that is edible for people. I could be wrong. But I do not think it is edible. Marianne says that shade of blue is so unusual for a fruit, right? So this is peach moonstone you get with that. And then you also get this strand of carnelian rondelles. And I got these matte ones because I thought that they felt like the right color to kind of go with this. Carnelian matte rondelles. There's Andrew. Is the fruit edible for people?
I don't know. I wouldn't risk it.
So I was going to say, I thought I looked it up once and it was not something that people ate, but
I'm gonna start seeing visions. I had a piece of paper and it told you what the different faces meant.
yeah, there are, and you can get some red Raksha, like this one, you can count the number of faces they have sometimes, like depending on how many separations there are. Like there's 1, 2, 3, 4. This one has about 5. You can see the lines going up. And some of them I think go up to 9. And they're like supposed to be better spiritually or more.
I think you get superpowers.
You get superpowers if you have a whole strand of 9. They're super rare that way. It's kind of like that, right? But there is something that I knew you had a shirt up here.
I wonder where that came from or where that went.
Yep, it's been up here. I thought you knew. You know where most things are.
I didn't.
Not his clothes.
I didn't put that away. So
Amy says, I purchased a strand of those rondelles. Nice quality. The carnelians, yes, they're so nice.
Who said that?
Amy.
Amy Lowe?
Yep. So, Susie says, don't they use those for prayer beads? They're for meditation. Yes.
Mala necklace.
Mala necklaces.
They're the 108 and a guru bead. You know why they have an 8 extra? Like this could be made up, but they said that it said that you do it 100 times perfectly, and 8 is in case you mess up.
There you go.
But I could be making that up.
Marianne says it won't hurt you to eat it, but it isn't supposed to be very tasty. There we go. Now we know.
I wonder if you can make jam out of it.
This is our, I think, smallest kit of the evening, and it's the least expensive, I believe, at $16 only. $20.50. It all started with this Keisha bead.
She don't make beads as much.
Yeah, I know. She got into some other things.
Like yoga.
So now we have this bead. So it started with that one, and then it went to the Buddha, thinking of her. And then I went to the unicorn glass. These are nice little beads. So this is how they hang. So you got those. And then this was very bright white, so I muted it down a little bit with this kind of sort of milky white with a clear Lucerna bicone strand. That's a little kit. Just a little kit was $20.50 down to $16 for UO. Bubble beads, yes, they look like little bubble beads. All right. Whoops, throwing my papers all around. Yeah, that was NDK 23, if anyone is interested in that. What are you pulling out my pictures for?
You just keep finding stuff.
They're not finding it. They're on my... Those are in my bookcase. Yes, this is me as a child. This is the spring at my grandparents' place, and they always had this cup hanging on the side. I forget where it hung. I thought it hung on the side, but it must have hung over here somewhere. And we would always take a drink out of the well or out of the spring. That
cup was there when we were there last.
Yep. It's probably still there. It hung there for decades.
Is this you?
And this used to, yes, this used to feed, this spring used to feed the first pond they had, and then it started to dry up a little bit more, and they created another pond that was, then this one fed into that other one, if there was any water. This is me helping my grandmother probably make pies. Looks like a pie plate there. I was making dough. I had my own, she gave me my own little cutting board, my own little flour, and my own little rolling pin. And it looks like I was pressing out maybe for on top of the dough, for on top of the pie. Or maybe I was just making cookies too, I don't know. That's me with my first quote-unquote computer. I asked for a computer at that age. Look how young I am. I asked for a computer, and my family was like, there's no way we're spending thousands of dollars. Because back then, computers were like $9,000. And they're like, no way. So this was the computer I got. But I was happy with it. I had no idea how to use it. It was mostly math problems. And I think it was like in division or something. And I don't remember. I was too young yet to even understand what it was doing. So I didn't use it that much. I think there were some word problems on there too, like Hangman or something. And I used to play that.
And then the reason why he don't have no clothes on is because is that Christmas?
Yes.
It gets so hot.
Yeah, it would get, well, no, not only that, we didn't have, this is like intermission here. We didn't have presents under a tree at my grandparents' house. My family, we hid the presents. They hid them around the house. So before the kids would arrive to my grandparents' house for Christmas, my aunt and my grandmother would work together, and they would hide gifts all around the house. And then for each place that they hid the gifts, they had a clue. And they would give us the clue, and then we had to figure out what the clue meant, what the answer was. And then my brother and I would run around the house to go get those gifts. Like we wouldn't just walk to get them. You would run to go get them. And then we'd come down and we'd rip them open and see what we got, take pictures, and then get the next clue. And this could go on for some time. Because of course, running around the house, taking pictures of everything. And usually the adults were cleaning up the dishes and from the dinner and all that while this was happening too. And so my grandfather was very good at keeping the house very warm. So we were not only running around, but it was very, very warm. Hi, Barn.
Nope.
Barnaby. Mwah. My buddy. Says you can't be on the, you're going to put cat hair all over our blanket. He says, I just need attention right now. He says, you've been talking for a long time to other people. You know our other people, Barn.
I say hi to my woman.
All right. So next up is NDK 24. It was $50.45 down to $40. And this one started out with one of Andrew's polymer clay pendants. This is his little Pisces pendant. I'm a Pisces.
My birthday's coming up.
My birthday is coming up. So this has some blue and light blue silvery tone to it. And so that was the inspiration. And I went right for the blue chalcedony. I love these blue chalcedony. They're like bluer in person than they look on the screen too. But these are beautiful. I tried to pick out two that were closest to each other. And so you get those. And then this is the one I was telling you. I have leather with it that's this color, but this leather doesn't fit in any of these beads. And like I said, these kits are not made to necessarily make any one thing. They are for inspiration. All right, so there's a color inspiration story here for you. And then I saw these chunky nuggets of vintage resin beads. Barn, you give me kisses. I love you too, bud. Vintage resin chunky beads. I love them so much. Susie says, I'm a Pisces too. Great people. March 14th. I'm on the other side. February 24th. February 24th. I'm almost cuspy with Aquarius. And then I put in these Lucerna bicones. Strand of those. That's a good boy. And then you get these vintage lucite or vintage resin? Lucite, right? I think these are lucite.
It's a vintage plastic.
It's a vintage plastic of some sort. And they have like a flower on them. It's So you get those. And then I really like this with it too, these check glass beads. I think this is the last strand of these that we have too. So NDK 24. And that's $40. Thank you to all who are hanging out with us still. We have a number of people still watching on various platforms. We are broadcasting on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Facebook. So if you'd like to join us in any of those places where you don't already join us, please do. Hang out with us everywhere. Ooh, this is a good, wait, what's going on here? I'm out of order. This is a good one too. This one has a lot in it. If you like African beads, I went African bead crazy in this one. So, let me unpack this. I gotta unpack it. You know there's a lot in there. Marianne's going to bedtime. Be bedtime soon, she says. Yes, it's my bedtime too. Andrew's like, what?
You gotta go to the cottage, bro.
I know. Just quick to the cottage tonight. So you get this strand of African beads. This is a random strand. This strand originally $42 for the strand. $42. All different African beads. So you get that. That's the start. And then I went crazy. So you get these. And I did them in amounts. So there are like 4 of the, I did them in pairs. So you're going to get those. And then you're going to get, but wait, there's more. I'm trying to keep these separated in groups because they are in the way that they come out of the store. So you get those. I'm going to have to move this because this is a big lot. And then you're going to get those, which they look like this and this.
Anybody want to buy a record player?
Just to show you some of these. Yeah, we've got a Crosley little book, what's it called?
Like a suitcase.
Suitcase record player. I just upgraded mine for my birthday last year. That's the only reason I don't use it anymore. And then...
No shipping. Actually, that
I was going to say, that might fit in. Yeah, that might not be too bad. Then you get these. Susie says, I got rid of all my albums. Oh no, you should have given them to me.
Unless you don't have what kind of music you like.
I know, that could be too.
One time
And then
somebody
you get
gave us all their records, I was like, oh.
And I got these chevrons. And
you got that, what is that guy? Lawrence Welk. What's his name? Lawrence Welk?
I don't know.
That one show that put concussed children on PBS after a hee-haw at Junction.
I don't know. I never watched it.
It's like ballroom dancing.
And you get these. Oh. And you get those. So you get all of these African beads for $66. That's a lot of beads, y'all. $66 only. And that is NDK 25. Susie listens to the Allman Brothers, Eagles, James Taylor, Jackson Brown, Poco. That wouldn't been so bad.
You might have some of that.
I might do.
Could do.
Marion says Lawrence, yes.
I'm thinking of Florence and the Machine.
Florence and the Machine.
You have that as well.
Do I? Yeah, I do.
Don't you?
I think I do. I have one of her albums. The Supremes. I'm sure I have some Supremes in there.
I'm cleaning my room.
I'm glad you're cleaning your room. Keep cleaning your room.
Do you know if there's money on this gift card, on my gift card?
I don't know. What kind is it? Starbucks? I probably transferred it to the online account, I would think. Susan says, I only listen to weird stuff that no one else listens to.
Susan?
Yeah, until you.
Susan for real?
Yep. Until you send us your albums, and then we'll listen to it.
No, you were talking about how you're listening to Interpol. I know that.
It's like, I know them. You listen to good music. Your friend has good music. Whew, getting hot in here.
I closed the doors.
I can tell.
So that the couch didn't.
It's starting to roasty toasty. Plus, I got a Barnaby on my lap. He's a roasty toasty. He's a roasty toasty too.
He runs hot, yeah. Ever since baby time.
Okay, the next one. Is it this one? Is this the one? Yes. All right, coming up. NDK 26. It was $90. Now it's $70. Anne says, I just received a Crosley record player for my birthday last year and a couple more Beatle albums to go with it.
That's good.
That's good. This is just one of those little suitcase Crosleys. Crosley has a bunch of different kinds.
I think you got that Barnes & Noble.
I think maybe I did. Yeah. Barnes & Noble or Walmart. I can't remember. I think it's Barnes & Noble. Like I said, it plays fine. It just, I upgraded. All right. This one, what was the inspiration on this one? Oh, this Dana Swisher bead.
I wonder if she's still alive.
I don't know.
How about Turn the Hermit? Is she for real Turn the Hermit?
Susan says, yep, he does. If you're talking about Rob, yep. He introduced me to Interpol. He was the first person in the States to play them on the radio.
Oh, really?
My vinyl are an eclectic mix. Bach to the Stones, says Marianne. I've got Price and Bach over there.
I'm sure you do. I found some
Stardust Memories.
Amethyst Ether.
Ooh.
Mix. How about way back when?
So this is NDK 26. It's now for you $70. It started with this. Then I threw in a strand of this kind of gray black sari silk. I love this pattern in this sari silk. And I threw in some silver. I wanted some, so I pulled some Milagros, and I tried to pull ones that, you know, aren't, there's like a book, there's a heart, and there's like a wine bottle. So they're not like an arm or a kidney.
I love the arms.
I know, the arms are good too. They were mostly feet. But so I pulled these for y'all just to go with this, trying to be not so creep everybody out sometimes.
I love to creep people out.
And then you get these. These are vintage check glass beads. And I love these little tubes. And then you also get these vintage check glass beads. Barnaby, do you just come up on me just to cough? Every time you come up, you're allergic to me?
I think he does it sometimes for attention.
Are you allergic to me?
Because I think he's starting to figure out that he gets what he wants when he coughs.
I don't know. I don't know if you can fake that.
I knew a cat that would limp and act like it would have problems, and then it would forget which paw it was limping on and would switch the paws.
Amy says, the last time I saw Morrissey, Interpol opened for him. Poor Barnaby, says Susan. I know, Barn. You were fine all this time. You come back in this room in this heat. I think the dry heat does not help him. And then you get this strand.
But he loves it.
He does love the heat, but it doesn't help. You get this strand of these sea glass nuggets. Get those. Then you get a strand of the eagle eye rounds. These are beautiful. Beautiful eagle eye rounds. These are such a good quality. Susan says, yes, they toured with him a few years back. Very controversial amongst the Interpol fans. Yeah, Morrissey's a controversial figure these days, I guess. And then the last thing in this kit are these beautiful peacock pearls. These are our vintage, from our vintage pearl line. Aren't those, look at the colors, look at the lusters in those. So this is NDK 26, $70. Now it was $90. These are $22, $6. These are $3 each, $6 for that. This is $15, $6 for that, and $20 for that. NDK 26, $70. Terry says, did see Allman Brothers and Santana together in one concert. That's interesting.
Who said that?
Teresa Ramsdale.
You
All
know
right.
who has good music scene? Milwaukee.
Yeah, I do.
Whenever we would go there for Beat and Button, there's always concerts playing.
Good concerts playing.
One time I got to see Cher for like $7.
He never not says that every time he talks about Milwaukee. He likes to rub it in. Because I didn't get to go that year.
And the seats were so cheap that they're up real high. But since she floats through the sky on a platform, she was like eye to eye and she waved to me. I'm sure she saw me in the dark.
Connected with a fellow beater
Uh-huh.
in the dark. So this piece is the inspiration for this last kit. And then after this, we have the fair trade stuff and we have some mixes. So we got some stuff to show you yet. So if you want to keep hanging out, hang out with us. This is a Priscilla Marban bead. This is the least expensive thing in this kit, but it is the inspiration for the entire thing. So you get that bead. And I also pulled this pair of beads by Heather Powers. So you get this as well in that kit. And there's a Nikki Thornburg Lanigan bead.
I haven't seen her in a long time.
In here as well. So artisan beads. And then to add to them, vintage check glass.
I wonder if Heather would come out and teach again.
That'd be nice.
I like Heather. We had a good time.
Yeah, she's been here, what, twice to teach with us?
I think so.
Amy says, share for $7.
I know.
Lena says, love Nikki beads.
I like Nikki too. I haven't seen her in a long time. She don't do the shows as much anymore. Well, who does?
I know, right? Who knows? We haven't been to a lot of shows either.
I don't think she does as much shows as she used to.
And then you get these vintage check beads. That little price tag is in tight.
She was doing that innovative shows, and then they just retired. Did you hear about that?
No. And you get these. That's those Lucerna bicones. And then I added this in there too. These are a vintage resin, vintage plastic, some type of vintage plastic.
I think John Iannucci took over the
I think I did hear that.
Philadelphia show.
And then you get a whole bag of these check glass tile beads. So you get those. I'm just going to pour a few of them out there for you. And then the biggest piece of this is this last strand that we have in the store of this beautiful blue vintage turquoise. This is the last strand we have of this in the store. I don't know if there's any in the online store. I think we're sold out of this. I love this color. It's a very specific, nice blue. And it's more blue and less green than most all of our turquoise. So I thought it went really well. Like these are the two that I really first pulled together. It's such a perfect match.
You know who I miss? Jenny Davies Riza.
Mm-hmm. Marsha Neal.
I miss her. But I play Pokemon with her every day.
I guess you do, yeah. Jenny Davies Riza, I watch her on YouTube. And she does her journaling and stuff like that.
I thought you had to pay for that.
No, she does some free YouTube stuff. I think she does a monthly thing. I don't know if she does a week. I think it's a weekly thing. I haven't seen it in a while. I was watching it for a while, and then I lost track of that too.
I saw Nikki start doing metal clay.
Oh yeah.
Because she lived near Carrie's Story.
So this is NDK 27. This is the last of the one-of-a-kind kits of the evening, and now we're going to move into some fair trade stuff. Fair trade stuff. This is a really sunny summer day vibe. Yeah, that was fun.
Let's manifest that right now.
I know. Let's do it. All right, y'all.
Put it in your mind.
We're gonna do this quick because I'm getting tired, and my computer's about to die, and I don't want to lose my Instagram peeps. So here we go. Fair trade stuff. This is from the Have Hope Foundation, havehope.org. They are still in business. I priced these to go. There's no extra discount on them. This is $24. And these are already done up as necklaces, but of course you can take them apart if you'd like to for the beads. I think the beads are really pretty. This is NDK 28.
Or buy gifts.
Yeah, you can buy gifts. These make great gifts for people. Who wouldn't want to get that as a gift?
Add a charm. Call it a day, yo.
Right? So there you go.
Dinner's on the stove. We got stuff to do. You know how sometimes you know people who you feel like you have to give a gift to, but you don't actually know them that well.
Yeah.
And you don't want to spend time like actually making something for them.
Yeah, we're searching Hill and Dell for them. These are great. Fair trade, did a good deed. Made sure to take care of people. And this is NDK 29.
So it's like you're doing good two ways.
Right?
Hey, what's that thing? What's it called when the Asian culture and the gift giving? There's a word for it. I forgot it.
I don't know that word. I don't think.
I feel that word.
NDK 30, $24. These are kind of a pinkish purple color. These are all recycled paper beads. Recycled paper beads. I don't know if I said that. This is NDK 30 for that color.
Did I tell you when this is coming up?
No, she didn't either.
For your birthday.
Didn't know that. It's supposed to be a surprise.
So we have to because we have to clean the house. You'd be like, oh, why are you cleaning so frantically?
I was wondering what's happening. Why did this start suddenly?
Because you were shaming me about how nasty I am.
Oh, was I?
On the TV.
Lennis's surprise.
We may have to go to Baltimore to do a casting class, so I hope you're ready for that.
Talking to me or Lennis?
Either way.
Oops, sorry everybody. This is NDK 31. Lennis is going to come, you're going to leave. NDK 31, $24. Lennis says, I'm ready.
April Witt is teaching, and she's a great teacher. I want to become BFF friends with her.
All right, everybody, we're going to drop the price. We're going to get into a new look.
There's a scholarship available.
Only one of each of these colors available. NDK 32. This first one is the kind of lapis blue color. I hope I'm not getting sick.
It's probably just dry in here.
I'm starting to feel
achy
and a little throaty.
Hot tea.
I know. Hot
Probably
tea.
as we start clearing stuff out too, there's probably dust.
So it's NDK 32. These are only $18 for these large ones.
You can't get sick, William. Your friend Linus is sick.
I don't think I've been around anyone sick. I don't know why I would be. There's been
Nobody's coming to the
nobody's
store.
coming in the store except Barb.
She was healthy.
Oh, one person did come in today and buy incense.
What?
He was renovating a house and he wanted to check for leaks after he spray foamed his basement. He felt air, but he didn't know where. So he was going to light incense for the smoke to get it to suck the smoke out and see where it was.
You know, glass people do that too.
I thought there was somebody, I was going to mention it to him, but I couldn't remember.
When they fume glass, because if they can smell incense, that means they're going to be sniffing heavy metals. So.
NDK 33 is this one, $18 for this light lavender color, lavender purple.
Did anybody buy anything from it?
I know Cheryl said she was sending some emails.
You all want this?
We've sold a few kits, it looks like. Thank you all.
Here. Before you jump into the next one, if anybody's watching.
What is this?
Does anybody who bought something want that?
Random chain.
And jump rings?
And jump rings. If you want it, say it.
You have to have claimed something because
Cheryl's waving. Does that mean you want this, or does that just mean you were claiming stuff? Because I don't want to send this to you if you really don't want it. Andrew's going to make this night longer.
The thing is that it's gonna...
Cheryl says she could use it. Okay.
Good.
If you claimed, it's yours. Okay. Write Cheryl on there. All right. Next up, NDK 34. 34 is this. Beautiful purple and blue, or various colors of purple, depending on what you look at, how you look at it. And that's NDK 34, $18.
Also, it's hot because it's blazing hot in here.
Yes, it is. I'm sweating. Vanessa says, I purchased your bag of chain online and love it. Oh, good. The random bags of chain, those are a hit. People like them a lot. If you've never gotten a random bag of chain from us, go get one.
I
think they're $18 too.
We go to Providence to get that.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, I put my life at risk for y'all. Many a time to get the beads.
This is NDK 35. This is a really pretty color. Again, these beads are awesome. If you didn't have anyone to give this to and you're not buying it for yourself, because I haven't even shown you. They do have a clasp on these already, a toggle. So they're ready to go. But you could also cut that off, use the seed beads, use the paper beads for something else. And this is it's absolutely awesome.
That's good. I'm glad you like them. You never know if people will like the things you do.
I know.
Where did you put the Sharpie?
You want to write it on a paper? Here's a pen. You gotta find your own paper. NDK 36. Look at that green. Now that's a nice green. NDK 36, $18. And these colors are set. Like I said, these are vintage strands, vintage necklaces. And they're beautiful.
They coat the paper so it makes it water resistant.
Yeah.
And they don't go into the ocean.
No. It's like sweat resistant is what you want. That's like it. A little bit of rain. Don't be dunking yourself with them on.
I once saw somebody in one of the online forums and like, I don't know what happened. I think I got ripped off. The metal turned colors after I just wore it one time. And then somebody was like, what were you doing? And they're like, well, I was going on this like retreat thing and we were in the sauna and then I went into the pool and then we did this salt watching thing and and I was like, so basically anything that could affect your metal jewelry,
right,
you
did it. Vanessa's saying, are they paper? Yes, these are recycled paper beads, just like the last batch. NDK 37. This is a very pretty color. Talk about like ocean color.
You know what would look good with that?
What would?
Peach fuzz.
Peach fuzz. I had a peach fuzz kit at the store. I meant to bring it.
You didn't sell out?
Nope.
There you go.
Well, unless it's sold and just hasn't been packed yet. That's another thing, but
I doubt it.
NDK 37, $18.
You know, that's one of those colors people either they love it or
it's true.
not like it.
It's true. NDK 38 is this beautiful color. This is a light kind of sky blue and white.
One of the people in one of those groups, they said that they'd rather be shot in a firing squad than be caught dead wearing that color. And I was like, whoa.
There is no color that I would rather get shot than wear.
I was like, that's a strong feeling.
I know. I was like, you want to die over having to wear that color. NDK 38, $18. I don't hate life that much. I'm like, you can put that color on, just kill me now. I also like most colors, so. I even like beige, even though it doesn't look great on me. What are you eating over there, little girl? Playing. She's just playing. She likes to play. And NDK 39.
They knocked over that trash can over there. That's where all them things are.
Great. NDK 39 is pretty coral color. It's a little more coral on screen. It's a little more pink in person, just so you know. Just so you know. Let me see if I can get colored it. Nope, it still wants to look coral. Still wants to look coral. That didn't color correct very well, but it's more of a pink, y'all.
I was wondering where those tubes were coming from.
Marianne says, even I wouldn't want to die rather than wear pastel paint, right? That's saying a lot for Marianne. This is NDK 39. Because she does not like the pastel paint.
Some people, though, I think that maybe they, that's how they're called, hyperbole.
I was going to say they live in hyperbole. Live in the Vita hyperbole.
Be careful what you wish for.
Like, oh, I have peach fuzz or a firing squad just for you. Pick one.
I won't. They're
teal.
probably watching. I'll get email after that.
We didn't name names. NDK 40, $18. $18. It's a beautiful kind of teal color.
Where did we get this pen?
That looks like a Planet Fitness pen, but it's
When
not.
did we ever go there?
We did not. We did not.
It's so pretty. It's purple. The ink.
Yeah, it is Planet Fitness, too. It really is. I have no idea where that came from. Somebody must have left it when they've stayed with us or something.
I follow this photographer on, he does tintypes, and he travels in like an RV type of situation, like a camper, and that's where his mobile studio. And he goes to Planet Fitness because they're everywhere, and that's where he takes showers. And
Yeah.
stuff.
Yep. Some people do that, and it's a cheap membership.
Yeah, one of my friends who live in San Francisco, she joined a gym because she couldn't afford rent. So she's living out of her car and going and taking a shower at the gym. They call that nomad.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I thought they called that homeless.
That too. NDK 41, $18. This is the last of this style that we have available. So if you're waiting to see all the colors of that style, you've seen them. Make your claims.
It's a rainbow.
Yeah, there were a lot of colors.
So somebody buy all of them and then make a rainbow necklace.
That'd be cool. All right, y'all. Harry says, I've been salivating over the colors and the shape. I know they're good, right?
Have you tried making paper beads out of some of your prints, Harry? I know a bunch of y'all got that gel press after we did that live.
NDK 42, $5. These are little stretch bracelets. I would not trust the stretch in these, by the way, everybody. I'm not even going to pull too hard on them. So I would redo those if you get these, but these are little beads. And that's NDK 42. That's the green, the dark green, I should say, because NDK 43 is the light green. This is my kind of green. I love this green. It does not look great on me. I go better with the darker green, the bluer green rather than the yellower green. But I love a lime green. That's pretty cute. Show them.
She says you can't see her.
Tallulah's hiding. Pretty sweet. NDK 43, $5. Jermaine says, I've been having so much fun with my gel press. Thank you for introducing me to it, Andrew.
Oh, good. I'm glad you like it. I don't think I've seen you post anything using it, though.
Uh-oh. Have you been posting, Jermaine? NDK 44. You can always post in the William Tries things. It's all about trying new things, right? In my Triers group.
What people do.
NDK 44, $5. If you don't know, Andrew and I both have our own personal kind of pages. He has Andrew Thornton Artist, and I have William Tries Things. He posts all the art stuff he gets into and all the stuff, his classes he takes and the things he makes. And I try to try new things. Mostly it's pottery right now, but sometimes I do other things.
You've been doing a lot of metal stuff lately.
Hmm?
You've been doing a lot of metal stuff, but you haven't posted it.
No, I've not posted it. NDK 44. I tend to forget to take pictures a lot of times.
I know. I have to bully him to do it.
And the last one of these is NDK 45. And it's these beautiful little kind of multicolor with kind of like a strong brown vibe, but also you got some blues in there. You got some teals in there, some yellows, beiges. Beautiful colors. Jermaine says, you haven't seen me post anything. LOL.
I try to keep up with people. My memory is going, so.
Mine is gone. Mine has already gone. Okay, so those are all the lot numbers for tonight. Now y'all want to hang out and look. You've still got 25 people, so thank you for hanging out. I'm going to get the bowl out. So we have, and I didn't get these separated. Let me do a quick separation to see how many of each of these we have.
Well, I haven't seen that in years.
I know these are all different. It's a different one. This one is one of the glass bead blends. That's different.
That's a good one.
Yeah, those are good ones. These glass ones right here. I got a number. I did start separating them in the store, and they're kind of in here. Some of those were. So I got those. This one matches this one. This one matches these ones. These two are the same. I thought these had different SKUs, and they don't now, so that's going to throw me off.
Those ones, some of those, I got this at a show in the summertime, and it was in North Carolina. And generally, it's pretty chill, like not super hot there.
I was going to empty these. I'm not going to empty these.
And the one time that it wasn't, and it was like 150 degrees, which it wasn't that hot. I had to carry all these seed beads on my back like a pack mule. I thought I was fit to pass out.
I'm trying to think how I can do this because I didn't make lots because these are different. I thought they were different. I started looking at them and like, these are different numbers. No, these are all the same.
Just show them and then we'll give a number. So all together, maybe. One of each.
These ones have different numbers. These ones are easy to do. Let me do the ones, this has a different number. So these ones have the same number. Harry says, I've been working in AI so much, but just got 50 pounds of raku clay. So he is going to do raku again.
Oh, good. I got nervous when you closed your Etsy shop that you weren't going to do it anymore.
Let's see if I have a pen, because Lennis is suggesting write a number on. Here's a pen. I can write a number. So this is going to be -1. So if you want this color, there's only one of these. So this is 5511-1. 5511-1. I was going to empty all these out, but I'm not. And there's a little bit of debris in here from the bead, they're vintage. But these are a beautiful kind of matte color. These are old. Do you say what size the beads are? No.
All different.
They're
Is that one all this different?
These ones I think are mostly the same, but I don't know what size those are.
See. This look like size 10.
Andrew's guessing size 10.
10-0.
So that's 5511-1. There is only one of those. So send that as the SKU. 5511-1 if you want that. They are priced at $10. So that I'm not changing the price. Those are dang good prices as is. All right. The next one, let me make this -2. So this is 5511-2. There are 2 of these available. Can you just open the top of the bag? Does that help?
Who's that?
Khalidi.
For Khalidi.
For Khalidi, of course. So there's that. Does give you a better sample of what's in them. Of course, they're hard to close then because they're so full. We pack our bags so full. So that's 5511-2. And there are 2 of those available here. I'll open the top of -1 so you can see what that looks like too.
I'm sorry I won't get to see you this year, Khalidi.
I have to move this.
Usually I see Khalidi in Tucson.
Jermaine says I stepped away. Sorry, did you say where they are made? These are I don't know. These could be vintage Czech.
Let me see.
All of these.
Those ones are Venetian.
So these are vintage Venetian, says Andrew.
Those ones, I would say put a little bit of warm soapy water and then let's dry them out on a piece of aluminum foil in the sun or something.
Michelle says they look like the old size 11. Could be. You know where
They're
these ones
all
are?
Wonkadoodle. Those look smaller.
I mean, where?
Those ones have the gold. I'm gonna say that they are Venetian also.
Andrew believes these 5511-2 to be Venetian. This is going to be 5511-3. These are larger.
The opalescent colors are usually French.
So here you have these ones.
And then some of these are Japanese.
This is the one I'm on. What are those?
I think most of those are Japanese.
They are mixes in some cases, so
those are mostly Mayuki.
Mostly Mayuki. So 5511-3. There are 3 of these. Boy, this is coming out really well. How I did this.
And they look like they are say 6. Oh.
And then 5511-4. Did I do? Is this a different one yet? That is a different one yet. Okay, so there's another here. So this is 5511-4. And there's only one of this one available. These are smaller. Andrew, what do you think those are from?
Those are small. Those are like 15s.
15s, and where you think?
Some of those are Japanese, but then there's a mix. So those pink ones, that's a red coating, the matte pink ones, those ones I know are Japanese. I ordered those for a project.
Okay, so that's 5511-4. And there's just, I'm going to say, make sure I'm doing this right. There's just the one bag of these. And then 5511-5 is this one. Coley says it looks like 3D juicy beads goodness coming at you. And I go like this. Woo. So this is 5511-5, and there's one of these. Am I right? Or is that the same? No, that's the same as that one. Just one of these.
So also, don't forget, you have 1 week left for the competition.
Tell him, Andrew.
I can't remember anything, but you have 1 week left. And there's information on the blog.
There you go.
And the blog is on our website.
Okay. So this is 5511-6. These are a little bit smaller. They're a rainbow, but they're like, this was the bigger one. Here are the smaller ones.
There's all kinds of.
Andrew says all kinds. And there are 2 lots of these available at $10 each. All right. And then this last one, 5511-7, is all mixed. There's some all different kinds in there. Let me open it because it's going to look a lot better this way. There you go. All different sizes, all different shapes. This is just a good mix if you want something to easy just kind of mindlessly string and have some interest. And there's 1 bag of these only. That's
have y'all ever seen a bead spinner?
5511-7.
The first time I saw somebody use that, I thought it was witchcraft.
All right, so let me lay these out with their partners
That's
here.
great for those mixes.
That's 4, 5.
Maybe not the
6.
15. That's not probably good, but the ones that's a little bit larger.
All right. Now the other one we have, these are glass bead blends. Andrew blended up some nice glass beads. 2142. What'd you say?
I didn't mix those.
Oh, you didn't mix
those?
those?
Are the ones that I carried on my back with a
Oh.
packing in North Carolina.
2142, and each one is different. Each bag is different. But we have 1, 2, 3, 6 bags of these left. 6 bags of these left. All different glass beads. Let me open another one so you can see the top of another. That bag broke right at that. It's hard to open. Let's try a different one. There we go. There's always something right big on the top. There we go. Just to get those out of the way so you can see some of the other beads in there. Cody says spinner magic for sure. Mixed are good for mini mosaic, says Lennis.
There you go, dominionmovement.com.
Right. There's our mosaics. These are 2142. 2142 is the SKU. 2142. If you'd like to claim any of these, you will get a random bag. What is that?
Here, give it to somebody who ordered something.
So we have 6 of those bags, 2142. And Andrew's giving away a prize. Hopefully my computer. I think it's plugged. If you ordered something tonight, and you'd like this, claim it in the comments. Say pink. Say pink shell.
Oh.
Pink shell. If you'd like to claim that in the comments. Suzanne says sweet. Pink shell. If you'd like that. If you claim something tonight. The next thing up that we have is this is an old Suzanne. Claim the pink shell. And let's see here. We have, this is an old Grasslands bead blend. Grasslands, these are some old bead blends we did. And if you've been with us for a long time, you may remember some of these.
Is that a full kit that we did?
That was, yeah, these are, I think, out of full kits, but sometimes we had extra bead blends.
Was that from one of the houses?
No, I don't think that was a...
Because then we do like forest and then like sea.
Well, this is like the Tribes Desert. So I know those were the tribes. We have one of those coming up.
I don't know. It's been so long. You know how many mixes I've made? Probably thousands.
Suzanne remembers those. So this is Grasslands 2141. If you'd like that, send that to us in an email. 2141. There's only one. The next one up is the Tribes, which is 2202. Tribes Desert bead blend. I'll give you a quick look on that. Some sequins in there, some checked glass, some good stuff in that one. Dalmatian jasper. That's very similar to the Grasslands in some ways. They'd be good if you wanted to combine them and have more.
If you like bone, that would look great.
Yeah. Speaking of, I think I found a bone dancer or a bone kit.
Oh, really?
Somebody ordered one and it was put on hold for them, but then they picked it up in store and there was one overage. I should have brought that too. So this is 2202 if you want the Tribes Desert blend. And then this is the Allegory Gallery Java Chip bead blend. Look how old these labels are. Getting back into the 1624 number. Told you I found these. 1624.
You know who named that?
Who named that?
Zach.
Zach named that one.
He was like, this looks like coffee.
Coffee, Java Chip. So there's that one. I just dumped that out and then I dumped it all over. There's that bag. I think we're back. Are we back, everybody? Are we here? Can you see me? Can you hear me? There we are. I didn't know it went right in and went live. So yeah, my phone died because I had it plugged into the computer. What I didn't realize is that when our lovely Ida Bell turned off the battery backup, she actually turned off the computer too. So, so that's that. So the Java chip blend was 1624, 1624. And that's this one. It has, you saw most of the stuff on top, but it also has some of these seed beads in here and these vintage sequins. So 1624. And then we have the Mystery Challenge 3 bead blend. This is an oldie but goodie. It has all these kind of citrusy colors. You got the pinks, the corals, the greens, the oranges. Very pretty mix. As I open it up, and there's a cat hair on the edge.
That's probably vintage Paolo.
It probably would be. There you go. So this one, if you like these colors, I love these colors. I like this kind of citrusy goodness here. Suzanne says cat hairs are magic, especially those ones. 2760 if you want that. And the last one that we have is 1442. This was an old vintage plastic. We just called it a vintage plastic mix. And I was telling someone today that most of our mixes, the luxury bead blends that we call them now, don't have tons of vintage plastic in them, but we have done some in the past that are all vintage plastic mixes. So this is just a nice assortment of vintage plastic, and that is 1442. All right, everybody. So that's all I've got for tonight. If you have any questions, please send us an email. And if you saw anything you like, please send us an email to claim. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm not going to flip the camera around again because we're going to go. And you already saw me spinning the camera the first time, probably. So thank you so very much. Thank you for hanging out with us for these 3 hours and 15 minutes.
3 hours.
Yeah, I got to get to the cottage, y'all. Have a great evening, and we will see you back here probably for a creative make-along tomorrow night. All right, stay tuned for that. Watch our Facebook page to get the information on the creative make-along to make together with friends for Beat in the New Year tomorrow evening. Have a great one, everybody. Bye now.
Yeah.